Okay, guys, we are live here at the Dallas Open round 2. We are getting round 2 set up. Pairings will be live here in a few minutes. We are here with some awesome guests. Adam.
He's been doing that all day. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
He's only been talking to me like for 6 hours so far.
It's only like 3. That's like 1.5 because the game wasn't
It
that
seems
long.
like 6.
Okay, so we have Adam from TFG Radio as well as Mitch Pelham from Best in Faction.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Everyone already knows I'm here.
Yeah, I'm actually the least most popular person here, to be honest. So
I don't know. You're pretty likable.
I am pretty likable, but people make fun of
popular.
me.
But you don't want to be popular and not likable, because then the popularity is there for a different reason, and you're suspicious about it. You get self-esteem issues. It's this whole downwards.
You can own it like some players.
That is true. Some people do embrace the hate.
Yes. You know, and they're usually British.
This is also true.
With their first name Alex, but I mean, people do like that.
Fond of water bottles. Yep.
That was the worst part about LVO, was everybody putting water bottles on his table. It was annoying.
Yeah, that was frustrating, because it's like, guys, I get the joke. That's great. Seen it 9 times now. No longer funny. You are not original. I know you think you are.
Did I tell you that when I was watching his game, I guess round 3, he went to go move my water bottle. I was like, can't move it. And then I moved it for him.
That's great.
That's good. Good times. So, looks like round 2 pairings are up, and
Let's check it out.
Josh is going to be playing Brian Delgado,
which is a interesting matchup. I know he has Deathwatch in there, right?
Yeah, it's Styges, whatever.
Styges, yep.
Forge World Mechanicus with the Electro Priest, with the Jazz Hands Electro Priest.
Yeah, so
and the Termites.
Yes, so the Termites are usually the delivery system.
Mm-hmm.
For that, it's interesting that he went Styges, which gives you obviously the -1 at over 12 inches away. It's the Raven Guard version of Admech, as opposed to possibly the Mars one, where you can deal out a ton of mortal wounds with those Electro Priests with a stratagem.
Yeah, and then his main body, about a little over 1,000 points, is Deathwatch, with the Watch Captain that has the Beacon Angelus. Then the Watch Master that has the Tome of Ectoclades. Damn these words. Which one is that one? Is that the 5+ you get CPs back, or is that the one that lets you choose a different doctrine or whatever?
Are we the Tome of Ectoclades?
Yeah.
I believe. I actually have the Deathwatch book here. I can tell you.
You can tell. Look it up there. Because then he has a veteran squad with Bike, Terminator, and then a bunch of guys with Storm. It's a squad of Storm Bolters, Storm Shields, basically. He has 2 of those. 3 of those.
Yeah, you're able to have a second mission tactic.
Okay.
That you can apply.
Yeah, and then his 3 troops are all identical, with the Terminator.
I like that he's running the power mauls with them. That makes them more versatile against orcs.
Yeah.
Which is nice, and just horde control in general.
Hold on 1 second. I do have a major change. I was overruled by the TO.
Doesn't he know who you are?
Yeah, apparently not. So
he hasn't achieved John status yet. He can't pull that cachet.
John hasn't achieved John status.
That's fair. Well, he has it in his own mind.
Yes, that's all that matters, I guess.
So, but on the other side, we're gonna have Thomas Reidy, aka Goat Boy.
Okay.
On the stream.
So oh yeah, right on.
That'll be good. I think it'll be good to watch. He has an interesting list. Hey, what table are you? You're table 1? Table 6? Okay. Let's see.
So it looks like Knights versus Nurgle.
Okay.
With Niel Junco running We've got a Spearhead detachment of the Demon Prince of Nurgle with wings, obviously, and the suppurating plate. The 3 Hellforged Aerodeo Dreadnoughts, all running Butcher Cannon arrays with the Greater Havoc Launcher. We move on to a Vanguard detachment with a Poxbringer, and then 3 Beasts of Nurgle. Sorry, four Beasts of Nurgle. How can he have 4 Beasts of Nurgle? Or is that a troop? No, it's an elite.
It's an elite. He can't have.
He can't have 4 Beasts of Nurgle unless this. Now, this list might be clipping the 3rd Beast of Nurgle and adding it to the next page.
No, it doesn't
so that
look
could
like
just.
it.
Okay, so that if that's not a formatting error, he has 4 when he should not.
He needs to drop 1.
Yep. And then from there, we've got another Spearhead detachment with a Demon Prince of Nurgle with a Demonic Axe. I'm not seeing any wings on there. And
are those Beasts
a
of
squad
Nurgle, are they 1 unit? It looks like they're 3. Is that correct? Or 4, excuse me. Could they be? We'll ask him when he gets to the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the rest, to round out the list, we have a squad of, it looks like 10 or 9 Blight Lord Terminators. I think it's 10. It's 10. And then 3 Plague Burst Crawlers with the Plague Spitters.
Okay.
So a very Nurgly list, a lot of durability. I don't think that there's necessarily any combos there we haven't seen before.
No, anything Nurgle I assumed Don Huson ran, so I've seen it. Not gonna lie.
And then with the on the other side, we've got House Crast with a Castellan, 3 Gallants. Is he taking? Oh, he does not have the Carapace guns. I find that very interesting.
I never took it with mine.
Interesting.
They run forward and die, so it's like kind of a waste.
Fair enough. And then 3 Assassins.
1, 2,
Plus
3.
the opposite, plus the 85 points to select another one.
Yeah. So essentially 4. Just with
So we've got the Calidus, Eversor, and Vindicare. Not having the Calexis, which makes sense.
Right.
It's only going to be it's only going to be useful in certain matchups. He's not depending on any psychic power, so he can kind of take it whenever he needs it, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that not having, if I'm not going to have one, it's going to be the Vindicare or the Calexis, because the Calidus and the Eversor pretty much in every game I've ever played with them do work. Since the new rules.
Calidus works if you're playing an army that uses a lot of CPs or even has few CPs, but want to use them in that first turn.
Well, and what I find really great about the Calidus is I get all the value out in the first 2 turns for making them spend more CPs.
Yeah, that's more or less why. And
but then I use her to infiltrate turn 3 and kill a character or 2. And
with the D3 plus 1 or 3 plus D6, 1 plus D6.
Yeah, 3 plus D6 charge.
3 plus D6
or infiltrate. Yeah. And so I just find her to be really good. I've yet to see her not like do what I needed her to do in a game.
Well, yeah, and if you roll low enough, you can get her within those tight places that can assault a character.
Yeah.
If they don't.
And you can really and they all of a sudden they're having to screen out like they're screening out GSC because it's that 3-inch distance.
Right.
So
he has 1 Spearhead. Vanguard. And the second Vanguard, is it? Yeah, it's another spill. 3. He only has 6 command points. Yikes. Yeah, so if you're able to make him burn those 6 in his first turn.
Or 2,
yeah. It'll be a long game. Well, maybe, because if you have 6, you're used to not having any anyway.
Well, in Nurgle, that's kind of how this Nurgle list, I think, is built, is to rely on a lot of other abilities and less on stratagems.
Yeah, but I mean, even just like reroll, if you need to that can be huge if you're spending 2 instead of just.
Oh, absolutely, completely agree.
We'll see. I think they're still gathering them to the table. For those that had, I think. Let's see. Yeah, the Butcher Cannon standard on almost any chaos dreadnought that you take, whether it's even decimators, you would take it.
Oh, the Hellforged Aerodeo, I think what he's trying to do there is give himself an answer for high flyer.
Yeah.
Based armies.
Yeah, because if they can declare they're not moving at +1 to against flyers.
Yeah, which is a big deal. And then
Oh, yeah.
obviously damage 2 is everywhere right now, and it's pretty effective.
Oh yeah, and because
So.
the missile launchers are good for out of line of sight stuff. I mean, I have one, but I use a Scorpius because I use the Leviathan instead, which I don't know if it has. Is it an array or is it just a butcher cannon? It's an array, so I think it's 8 shots each.
I believe so.
Oh.
For these ones, they might be 4 shots per gun.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Because I know the Leviathan is 8, and if you put it on a decimator, it's 4.
I believe we're getting the rule of 3 question resolved. We have
Okay.
not heard back yet. Someone in the chat asked.
Okay. I mean, it could be a cutoff, but in all honesty, we just rolled one of those into one of the other ones.
Yeah, it didn't need to be there. Like he had the detachments to make or 3 units to make the detachment legal as an elite, and he took 4.
Yeah, and it depends on what the TO wants to do. If he just
Okay.
let it
So
slide.
I just got that question answered, and it's 4 beasts of Nurgle in 1 unit.
Okay.
Okay.
See, this is why Battle Scribe kind of sucks sometimes.
If it's 4 beasts of Nurgle in 1 unit, how is he filling out his vanguard? Because it's in a vanguard detachment, so you need 3 elites. So he has a Poxbringer and then 4 beasts of Nurgle is what he's showing.
So what Mitch is saying is tell him to stop lying.
Yeah.
Is that...
Oh, maybe.
I'll say it.
I don't understand how this is either an illegal detachment because it has too many of the same unit, or it's an illegal detachment because they're all in 1 unit and it doesn't have enough units to fill the detachment.
Right. Jason, you get all that? So essentially, we're still getting that resolved.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Sure, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh yeah, it's not a big deal.
All you do is roll 1 in the. Well, that's the question. So, as a TO, do you allow? Let's say it's 4 separate ones. Do you allow him to roll one of them into the other squad and just make it legal, or do you basically
after he just said they were all in 1 unit? No.
Yeah. So now it's like
he is committed to basically a narrative. So whether or not that's true, I don't know. Maybe it is, and he just forgot to put other things in there. I have no idea. I'm not trying to say one way or the other, but as the list is formatted now, there is no format in which way it can be legal if it's all 1 unit.
Just to let you guys know, we are getting the TO involved, so give us a second.
No, that's fine. We're just talking. Yeah. We're vamping.
So the Butcher Cannon array for the Daredeo is heavy 8.
Okay, heavy 8. Cool. So 4 shots per gun. They have 2 of them.
It's equipped with a Butcher Cannon array.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it model-wise because they have the gun on each side, so each.
Yeah, it's weird that way.
It's just grouped together.
It's just grouped together, so both arms have to be the same. You can't have one arm with a Butcher Cannon, arm with something else.
Yeah, and you have to fire both of them at the same target.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So it's essentially that's why the Leviathan is probably better because it's 2 Butcher Cannons, not a Butcher Cannon array.
Yeah. But it's also more expensive.
It's like 100 points more. It's not that much more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it could be worth it. I mean, what you're really losing is the ignore LOS missile launcher
and the ability to hit flyers better.
I don't know. I have Abaddon, so
you have faith.
I have reroll all hits, not just stuff hits.
Oh, is it? He got the call rule.
Yes.
Cool.
So now it's all hits.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I used them the other day in combination with basically a fire base with I call it the Chaos Anus, but it's the Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
The Noctilith Crown. The Crown is actually pretty good because it actually gave my Scorpius an invulnerable save. So I may want to just try it with a Spartan. So with a Land Raider with 8 las cannons with a 5+ invulnerable save and 2+ armor.
I thought they already had a 5+.
No, the Spartan does not have an invulnerable save.
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
that's why
we got it resolved, guys.
Okay, cool.
What
was the
we're
resolution?
doing is
So I can-
we were gonna do what the most famous 40K judge always does: yellow
Disqualify
card and removing the beast, one of the beast nurgle.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
So-
more or less all you can do, right? Really.
Yeah, no, and that's what I imagined would happen. But so, quick question though, did he back off on the they're all one?
I think I misunderstood his answer.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, miscommunication happens, but that's what I want to know.
Jason, stop ruining our narrative, Jason,
Oh my gosh.
with actual facts.
Yeah,
It's not how this works. It's not how the internet works.
and to be clear, this can happen to any player. The messing up the rule of 3 thing. I've been there. It's happened. I played against someone who brought 4 identical knights right after the rule of 3 came out, and I didn't realize it until someone pointed out, like, aren't those knights all Crusaders? I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess they are. Like, it happens. It's. I'm not trying to throw any shade at the guy.
You didn't say
No,
you don't know what my podcast is. You don't know who I am.
No, I leave that to the professional.
Professional.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna have a really good game. These guys look like pretty awesome players. They have really awesomely painted models, and I think the internet knows Thomas in general. Is that correct?
Yeah, go boy.
They at least know his art.
Yeah, he did our logo for Best of Faction.
He does everybody. Well, he didn't do
Oh,
ours.
got another rules call. Okay.
Nice. Is it about the ruins? Yeah. For those that don't know, you cannot have the. You have to have the objective on the bottom level.
Right, and that's what we're
Second level.
organizing right now.
Yeah. Terrain looks nice, but
Is it supposed to be okay?
Yeah,
so-
perfect. That's exactly.
There we go.
So now, see, it's super easy. You know, we're not going to worry about where everything is.
sometimes get in the way.
And it's the pointed, deployment.
Pointed. This one. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
think
Sounds
those
like they're
objective
doing
markers.
triangle deployment. My favorite.
Are those giant purple
Nine
disc
inches in the
objective
middle.
markers? If so, those are the biggest objective markers I've ever seen.
Yes,
So,
they're going to measure
what-
from the edge of the purple disc. I'm just kidding. They're really not.
No,
So that one needs to be back.
I mean,
this is
these are
something that
actually
I've
just
seen
a hair
in
out.
Europe
so-
and Australia become a
Move this
lot
one
more
back a little
popular
bit.
is the neoprene objective marker. So it's measured from the. It depends on how you're doing it. If you're doing it like ITC rules, you have
Move-
the
measure-
specified size middle, and then that neoprene is the 3-inch aura around it that you have to be on the
okay.
objective. So there's never a question of whether or not you're on the objective. Are you touching neoprene?
Right.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
So that's accurate. There is actually a small dotted circle in the middle. Or not in the middle, but kind of towards the edge that shows the 3-inch marker. It's pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, it also makes it a lot easier to see for live streaming. I'm looking into getting something similar, some slightly different. I'm not sure how I want to do it yet, but yeah, it's a really cool tool. So we're talking about the so we have the pointed Dawn of War deployment. It looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Which is
So you
really
know-
advantageous
So you
to the
unfortunately
knights.
know Bruce.
Yeah.
I know
Oh.
Bruce too. So.
He's pretty good. I like this venue a lot.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage.
Telling him how much I like this venue over the one last.
What are you doing, Jason?
I mean, that was a oh crap, you got to get something done.
Uh,
Yeah, totally.
Everything just got very yellow.
Okay, so it's not me. Thank God.
No.
Thought
Nope.
it was-
Everything. The contrast just went.
yeah,
Crazy.
I was trying to deployment. Oh, that's why. Deployment zone. Watch this.
He said it was capped at 20 and went up to 130.
Fixing it. I'm fixing, guys. I promise.
I guess we're rolling off.
We got to pick our missions.
We're semi-pro, right?
What are you?
I got the
There's
deployment
a
zone.
car window. I see a car window. It looks like it's from. I'm gonna go with like a 85 Comanche. Looks like 1985 Comanche. Oh no, there's an angle to it that's more Ford style.
There we go. I love you guys.
Now you need to turn it.
Yeah, it's not that way. They're doing it the other way, man.
Ah, okay. I'm just gonna turn this off.
Yeah, it's Pointy Dawn of War.
Oh, it's the All right, fair enough. I'm done. You just take over, guys.
This episode's already for this round.
Mm.
Such ambition, Jason.
This
I know.
shoutcast brought to you by the LVO judging staff. Professionalism in every way.
Oh my God! Please don't mention that. I'm more embarrassed about that than my comment in the first game.
Oh, wow. That says a lot about it. That's great.
I'm gonna mark for death.
No, I won't repeat
Oh.
that comment.
No.
Um,
No, people have to
Turn.
pay for the
so come back and
premium
watch
membership
it.
to come watch. Yeah.
Two.
Are they doing their secondaries right now?
And we'll say the
Yes.
one guy with the big weird pulse on the back.
The what?
This guy with the big pulse on the back, and the other one marked for death.
So let
So
us
I
know
use
who
both Demon
picks what.
Princes, the Terminators,
You
and this
can,
guy.
Jason.
He's actually got
Please.
iron on him. If you want to do him, because he actually looks different. He's got spikes and he's got the.
Oh, okay,
star in the front.
perfect. Oh yeah, I was like, whatever. The one that spikes.
Okay.
Man, this is
So,
not a
mark
good.
for death.
Whoa. No, whoa.
Along
This
with
is not a good deployment
other
for
stuff.
Sound good? What are you doing?
the Nurgle
I'm trying to
with this
decide on the
many
last one,
gallants
because I
coming
don't
at
think
it,
I'm
and
gonna-
he
with old
doesn't
school, I'm not sure
have
I'll be able to
like
kill something
60
turn one. So I'm
podswalkers.
not really
Or
thinking
even
that
plague
would be one,
bearers.
but,
Yeah, or plague bearers.
did I just-
They'll set in
I might
front.
just put these on the wrong page.
Titan Slayer.
He
Yeah,
has
Titan
what,
Slayer
2
and
demon
King Slayer.
princes?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
2 demon and a poxbringer. Yeah, that's
Titan Slayer, King Slayer.
his counter assault's not very.
I mean,
You do
yeah,
headhunter that- 'cause
and
there's always
gallants
assassins
are
running
one of
around.
the few things that do look
yeah,
at his
how
blight
many
lords
does it
and go like,
take
yeah, I
to
can kill him.
to max out Titan Slayer,
Right.
is it
Yeah, like
So
I got a
two,
fist,
right?
I got a
Titan
chainsaw,
Slayer
I can make this work.
every
So would you put the blight
Eight
lords in,
wounds, yeah.
in
So two would-
Deep Strike?
Yeah, killing 2 knights.
I don't know that he can with
Titan
this
Slayer's
deployment.
an easy one.
Okay.
And then
It's going to be
Headhunter's not
hard
bad
for
either.
because the knights are moving,
But
so
you're not that
fast, so
fast, so
quickly. He's
Recon's
going to have
not
a hard
good.
time.
So we'll
With
do that one.
he'll basically have to concede
Headhunter?
the entire table to deploy defensively enough for that to matter,
Mhm.
and he'll end up cornered. And he's not fast enough to allow that to happen. So I think he needs to put him on the table. There's not enough shooting out in Goat Boy's army to make a difference. Like it's just the Castellan, right? It's so
Right.
if you can
Neil will
if you
have a
if you
wonderful
put them
game,
on the
'cause I don't
table
give-
out of line of
we
sight
don't
of the
have top
Castellan,
games.
that's
Yeah,
probably
I'm
a
looking
good
forward to
move.
it.
But
My goal is to not lose my first.
It's
I only
hard.
think because,
I've
like
had
you
bad
said,
habit
the
of
movement
losing that first
issue.
game,
If
so-
you
Yeah.
if you
he'll be
forget
able to threaten
something, just
either
tell me.
the Castellan,
I don't care
whatever
about
else.
winning. Is
Objectives
we're here to
in-
have fun. I don't
I'm good
care.
either
in
way.
Goat
Yeah,
Boys
Yeah, we're gonna have. I
deployment
played Death
area.
Guards though.
that's
The
fair.
number one and
I
number
went down to
6.
6 command points.
Yeah. No, I mean the temptation is to hold on
And you have
exactly
6,
for what you're talking about, a beta
Yeah.
strike, right? But you're gonna have 3 gallants down your
So,
throat.
am I
And
missing anything? Are we rolling
I
the
just
ball?
look.
Deployment
Yeah.
zone, and the
I
person who
would
loses
probably-
deployment zone is one.
I probably would use the plague burst crawlers for my screen.
Two.
To be
I was
honest.
about to say the
I guess
same
I'm
thing. I'm
picking
like,
this
I
side,
think
I'm
you
not
put
gonna
the
move.
tanks up front because
Face the
at least you get good overwatch.
Yeah.
And they're not the easiest thing in the world to kill. I mean, the gallants are going to do it.
They can do it, but I've had it where I did only like 2 or
Terminators
3
and
wounds
Deep
after
Strike.
all. 'Cause
Yeah,
of,
yeah, because they're so swingy with the feel no pain and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah,
I think
so
that
in Deep
Deep
Strike.
Will it bother you if I
I
place
think
a
that that's
Terminator up here as a
probably the
reminder
way
for
I
myself?
would go.
Okay.
I'm gonna hopefully remind you as well.
You could also, because you're just not trying to
So I put
hide that
Eversword
much
Deep
from a
Strike?
shooting, and
Okay.
you're not going to hide from a Castellan with 3 plague burst crawlers on this deployment.
No. Jason,
Yes.
can you get there? What secondaries they chose?
Yes.
Real
Doing
quick?
that right now.
Got a Beast and Nurgle.
So it looks like, it looks like Niel is setting up first. So which assassin would you
Against the knights?
Do you have
against
one or
the
two,
against the
assassins
Nurgle?
in,
You're playing.
Oh
you're-
yeah, I'm
you're
sorry.
playing-
I swapped it.
So it's back to your beast
I
and
would
Nurgle.
probably.
I wish we got assassins.
I
Imagine how
was just
good
like
chaos
I
would
was
get.
thinking
That's-
backwards.
Okay, all right.
So
I would probably go with.
All right. Beast and Nurgle.
I feel like his
Collect, Callous
characters
Assassin Reserve?
are important, but they aren't like he's not running a super character centric buff army.
no.
I almost kind of like the Calexis just because he's so hard to kill.
Okay.
And and you can pop him up after you've gotten the only things that are really a threat to him, the Plague Burst Crawlers, down. And use him to try and touch different vehicles in the background. The Calidus would also do that, but it's not as survivable.
No. Not the Eversur. Another Eversur.
I mean,
I
he
only
doesn't
say that-
have.
I
Oh,
only
go
say
ahead.
that because he explodes when he dies, and depending what he gets into,
Yeah.
put the finishing touches on certain, like, especially
Yeah, I don't like-
depending on when,
I know.
if it's late game.
That having to go
Means have
wide
like few wounds
against
left, hopefully.
Yeah, I would
I mean,
lean probably
whereas
just
before
towards
I'd
the
be able to
Calidus
get
because
into you
everything
anyway,
in
'cause it
this army pretty much has an
every
invo,
other table, I
and
can put
just
one
ignoring
thing
that
there,
invo for like the Beast of
100%.
Nurgle and stuff could be really
This is
useful
the one
for
that does
taking
it.
them
This was
down
like
Yeah, that's like,
much more quickly. But yeah, I don't know that there's
Stellan.
the only bad choice I see here is probably the Vindicare because he already has one, and there's not enough characters out here like out and about to justify it.
Yeah.
Unless you're really scared of those demon princes for some reason.
I mean, they could take a knight down, but
Gallant.
that's more. Depending on who goes first, it's going to be.
We have him using his plague bearers as a screen, or his plague bearers crawlers. Yep.
Yeah. So Thomas apparently took old school, marked for death, which is probably the plague burst crawlers, and maybe one of the
Another
demon
Gallant?
princes.
I'm sorry.
Another Gallant.
Goat Boy is running 3 gallants and 1 Castellan, and then an assassin detachment. All this House Crass.
Just a reminder, what does House do?
I can grab the night book and
Another
look.
Gallant.
I have it right here.
Okay.
Let's see. Because people have been switching to House Crass.
I am done.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a Mechanican. Yeah, Cold Fury. Reroll failed hit rolls in the fight phase. During Aaron turn. Yeah, okay, reroll. So reroll failed hit rolls. And reroll failed for a model with the tradition in any turn that was charged. Perform heroic intervention. In addition, you can reroll all failed hit rolls. Wow. Against Titanic units. So reroll failed hit rolls or reroll failed all against Titanic. It's not bad.
It's like you can't see him, but if I move my guy, you might be able to.
I can see him.
Huh?
I can see both of them.
Okay.
There's not gonna be. It's gonna be hard for me to stop you from. I'm gonna see whatever I
I
want.
know. I'm gonna make you work.
And they're
for it.
Mechanicum,
Exactly. Well, I mean,
so
it's an MC.
you
It
can
doesn't.
take the stratagem that lets
The
him,
only person that has to worry about it is your pox
fight
stringer.
at full strength.
will be
depending on
like-
what the situation is.
That's
Makes
the
sense.
only one that's like, all right, well, am I gonna get shot in the face?
And then
He'll make us
Niel
feel no
took
pain. It's okay.
Kingslayer,
All right. Can you see him?
Headhunter,
No. I already tell you I can't see him. I didn't have to look down.
and
Alright.
Titan Slayer.
Sorry your camera's shaking, but this floor is being
Not your fault.
wonky. All right. So I'll put him back. Here, I'll put him over here. So
Yeah.
Who are you yelling at,
left
Jason?
away.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
forget.
yelling at the players.
And
Nice.
It works well.
this guy here. You
Oh,
have
Knights up
the
front. What a surprise.
Roll for
Uh,
first turn. Good luck.
Sir? Wonderful guy. Nurgle, I'm not playing Chaos, but Chaos always wins.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Because we cause enough havoc.
That's exactly.
All right.
Feels a bit more conservative
I have
for
a
those
5,
gallons.
I have a
you
4.
4.
Then maybe.
I will take first turn.
well, the
Okay.
one in the back, you can only fit for those
I'll
big
try.
bases. You can only fit so many. You know,
Yeah.
up front.
Nope.
Alrighty.
I usually took Terran only because the
Okay.
plus the roll 2 dice
gonna
when you
adjust your
advance
mic.
in charge is really helpful. Maybe not in this
Am I okay?
situation, but certainly when you're playing the long
We
way.
get real close.
Looks like Nurgle is going first. Is that
Okay.
correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
did
they
take
the
the-
roll off opted to go first. Goat Boy tried to
I
see.
forget things a lot, so I'm trying to clarify. Did you take Landstrider? The one that... Okay. And
So you
okay.
push the Plagueworks
So-
crawlers up to really scream. I mean, they're dead.
You
either
wouldn't.
way.
If I
Can't
went
really do
first, you wouldn't have gotten away.
Yeah,
from it.
and
Yeah.
it kind of forces him to have to deal with them because if he doesn't deal with them next turn, they're going to move up again and flame.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to
it.
be
Well,
able to
and
get
flame
into...
whenever the
Goes 10 inches, right, or 12?
assassins.
They
come in,
moved
you gotta
9 and they
move
have
on,
9
because with
inches.
the flamers,
so
they
they're
don't care
basically
about.
their threat
Yep,
is
very true.
18.
Plus,
So I think I need a 3 to be able to shoot you this turn.
So big game hunter,
I think that's a little bit more than 2.
If I remember where my tape. Oh, there it is.
Daredales are way
Should be.
over there.
So yeah, it looks like 3 will get
Ooh,
me
I don't
in.
know if
So
I'll put them over there.
I'll go ahead and advance, see if we get it in. Hey, look at that. So,
I think he's trying to kind of make it so the cast one can only ever see one of the one group, the one dreadnought to the left, the two to the right.
I'll take it. If I was playing, that's what I would concentrate on one to begin with. So.
Yeah, that's not actually. I would have put probably all of them to one side because he doesn't have the board presence to flank you, and if he starts to try and make that move, you can adjust. So you don't, once you see kind of where he's deploying, you can do a lot.
Yeah.
I don't need that much. I'm gonna go
or
there.
even
The other beast.
do they need to be next to each other? I mean, I would have probably spread them more.
Tuck in.
I mean, they hit
All I'm saying is I would have put them all out of line of sight of the line if I could.
just to start. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But I didn't see. I wasn't paying close enough attention to the drop order. Maybe that wasn't possible. Maybe he was using his assassins to keep him from being able to do that. But I think he has enough drops.
With the assassins, I would only give him 8 drops.
No, I'm talking about the Nurgle.
Well, that's what I mean. Goat Boy only has 8 drops, even with the assassin.
Yep.
The Nurgle has way more drops because you have the three beasts of Nurgles, 3 plague burst crawlers. You're already at 6. You have the 2 demon princes.
Yep.
The 3 Derrideos. You're already at like 9 or 10 or 12 or what.
Yeah, so that would have been probably the best. That's probably the most optimal way to try and deploy the Derrideos, which are the thing you don't want getting to off by the cast one.
Yeah, I can't see the third one. I see the 2 on the bottom right. Oh, there. Yeah, the third one's on the bottom left. There it is.
Yeah,
which is more or less probably what way to do it. But you can still see if he had gone second, that first one on the bottom. Probably.
What was your warlord trait?
Arch Contaminator.
Oh.
I already knew what it was. I don't even know why I'm asking. I knew what it was.
Which is interesting.
Plagueis Crawl. Like, come on.
Yeah, because he's not actually. I mean, he's move blocking one of them, kind of, but you're really just giving him a kill.
Yeah, because full tilt, I
so
believe is. Let's see what full tilt. If it's any knight, then yeah. But if it's only Imperial Knights or full tilt, yeah, full tilt's Imperial Knight. So even the Mechanicus ones can use it.
A shoulder pad.
So unless he moves another guy into that second spot,
okay,
then they don't care.
So
yeah,
psychic
because
phase
you advance
didn't move, right?
with one on the left of the screen.
He did not move. Everything else moved.
That would advance.
But everything else is pretty far back.
So it can only shoot its flamers.
Correct.
Sounds good to me, man.
If you roll high enough advance, you can.
Psychic phase.
We will cast Miasma on the front guy. We will get it with a 9.
Totally get it.
So we're already in shooting phase?
Psychic phase.
Psychic phase? I have the sound on, I can barely hear him.
Okay.
This guy is not going to cast anything, and he's not going to cast anything.
I thought it was important for everyone to hear you.
Phase.
I turned their volume down.
I got a pile of dice here. So let's do the one that
Iron Halo is the 6, by the way, just so you make sure you know Iron Halo equals 6.
Zoom in on objective 6
cool.
so you can show the people in the chat where to get the
Was this the guy with the 2 up armor?
objective markers.
Yeah, if it can show where the objective markers.
Yeah, I can do that because I have a fancy camera, right?
Number of shots will be 9.
I assume so.
Yeah.
I'm a fancy gentleman too.
This one anyway with the flamer.
Oh yeah.
Well, that I knew.
I want to make sure it's a little late, but I was
One
trying
of
to
those
make
two
sure
statements. One of those 2 words is true.
Armor guy. So I need 5s.
You have a 50-50 chance of being right.
So not terrible.
You know, that guy's asking me about the where to get those things.
Yeah. Oh, 3d6.
He's my judge.
Okay.
Awesome. So we will come over here.
Pretty cool objective markers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Derrideo is going to fire everything there. I'm going to roll the heavy bolters.
Are you in 36 of this guy?
I thought I just checked it.
I thought you were this guy.
Oh, did I?
Thank you very
No,
much.
36 is. Oh, 36
You're
is
welcome.
actually, that's from the front of my
That was
base.
very cool.
Perfect. Okay. So here we go. Here's the Greater Havoc launcher, which will be 3d3.
Shots are being fired.
Strength
So,
5?
2, one more. It's strength 6, but I'm just going to roll it with the heavy bolter because it wounds you on 5s. So
And it's AP minus the same AP, right?
Minus 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome,
So,
Nimzit.
one's miss. So that all hits.
5s.
And 5s. So there we go. 5 of them.
I will take 3.
2, 4, 6, 8. All right, and here we go. Here's the
See how much.
butcher cannon. Lots of ones. This is the one that I didn't have my prince nearby, and
I know.
he's lonely
does
now.
it really matter who we target? with the
4s.
Plagueburst
So
Crawlers?
3 minus 1. And that's 2 damage.
Well, I
each.
imagine he's going to try and focus down one
I
knight.
play them too.
Right, but does it
play,
really matter which one?
No.
And it's
What
one of the
the-
two front ones at the very
I
least.
got him 3
Yeah,
weeks
it looks
ago,
like it's
and
the
I
one on the left.
Well,
Yeah, I was like,
It's that dice is a
I
wound
tried
marker. I don't
I
know
tried
if
a
No,
Renegade
it's not.
Knight.
His
Renegade
wound
Knights
markers
are
are the red
not as
disc
good as
Ah,
Imperial
okay.
Knights.
Cool.
behind.
No.
So
Here
I
we
think
go.
it's the
This
one,
Demon
yeah, the
Engine
one
will
on the
fire at
right,
same
the
target.
purple-ish looking
This
one.
is his
The
heavy
more
slugger.
purplish looking.
I'll go ahead and ion shield that one.
Okay.
Left, right, or middle?
That's only.
I know,
Okay,
right?
yeah, you're right. It has AP -2 gun. So.
I think he's focusing on
That's
the
fine.
one on the right hand.
That's fair.
Our right hand. So go
Most of my
boys
shooting
left.
is AP -1, so
I
I
know,
don't,
that's why
I don't
that's
think
what I
about
was
it. So I need a 5 up on that gun. Fails.
Which I don't know if I
Plague
would
Mortar,
do that. I'd probably
he
target the
moved,
one on the left.
I may have actually.
Because
did my hits wrong.
if he's
Hit
at full, he
5's
might be
gonna
able to make that lock
one
charge.
hit,
But if you're able to
4 up,
reduce him down
1 wound, -2.
at least one step or
Okay,
one
he
level,
likes it.
then
And,
makes that
we
movement
will
and that
do
charge harder.
this Plague Mortar.
For sure.
He did not move. Yep. So Plague Mortar, 6 shots, 36. Hey, 4 ones again. But this I do get to reroll for the Prince. 3 misses. 4s to wound. Rerollable.
And plus, the one on the left is
Rerollable.
more in line of sight.
Arch Contaminator. Did not matter.
I guess it doesn't matter. It looks like the
D3.
Daredeos
we
might
will
be
do
in
1 damage.
range of anybody they will want, except for the Castellan.
I can't remember if I did my heavy slugger, so I'm gonna move
Yeah.
on.
If only I can measure
we'll
48
do
inches
the
on the
back
screen.
We're gonna do the same thing.
Can
I really
you? I don't
can't.
know.
No, I
36
can't.
is in
I
range,
can't.
I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yeah, I think this is.
That's the only one I don't. The back one's
I
the only
can't. I
one
can't
don't,
draw.
Here we go. 36 is.
Yeah, but that doesn't help. You
I
draw
thought so,
48
like, I'm
inches
pretty
and it just
sure
meant.
it is. I'll fix it.
There we go.
So 33 shots. So add 1, and then
I mean,
I
if you
think
could
it's
draw a line
47.
from,
how much?
I think if you can draw a line from the bottom of the
13
mat to the
remaining?
top, and then able to adjust that. Oh my God, you're
Alright. So he is
able to
over
move that line about, then we could probably get an accurate.
And 5.
Let me just get my measuring tape out, right?
3, 4, 4. Wow.
Yeah. Well, from
okay.
the Plagueburst Crawler on the bottom left to the knight he wanted to shoot at, it looked like it was just within the 36.
So let me try something.
Let me make
Okay,
sure I
that's
do this
48 inches, right?
2, 4.
That's the
8.
thing I don't want to hear
Alright.
you say.
All hit.
That's approximately 48 inches.
Okay, approximately. All right.
It's a little over, but
So
I
5
yeah, I
wounds,
think they're out of range
-1.
with that logic.
Oh, he likes it. He likes it.
Got them all.
All right.
but I just meant it would
last
be a good tool
Daredevil.
to see if things would be within charge range, things like that.
6. Maybe 1 more. So.
Hey, Carl Balden, we actually discussed that pre-game. He is taking one of the Beasts of Nurgle out of his list, and we issued him a yellow card. So he actually had 4 separate Beasts of Nurgle. You are correct, and so that breaks
How
the
many
rule
left?
of 3.
10 on him.
And that's what we decided to do.
We'll see if we can do it. We can see.
Salty John would have kicked the player out.
The pilot's maybe going, hey, Zinch, maybe a
Oh
little
my
bit
God.
of, maybe a little oh, no. Nope. See, that's why you don't vote.
That's why I do it.
Yeah, so you don't do it.
I took 2 more.
You don't think so, Adam?
No,
Okay.
not if
Okay.
it's his first offense. It depends.
So,
Also, you know what? It also depends on the player's reaction.
Yeah, that's very
can't
true.
complain, did some damage.
Like how a player, reacts to like, hey, a question. If they get defensive immediately, start acting suspicious, you're like, oh, so this doesn't seem like a very unintentional mistake all of a sudden.
That's a fact right there.
That's my turn.
So it's Thomas's turn now.
All right.
No kill, turn 1.
I'm gonna move my trees off too.
Oh, he's not
It
gonna
just-
get a kill.
I
No,
like
no,
that
I
they don't
know.
hold in the thing, so that's my problem. Like,
I told
I
him
was
he
just
needed to build out a
just
little bit more.
making
Once
sure
you
people
blocked 'em,
knew.
they didn't stick.
That's why there's no old school on on his secondaries.
Oh hell no. Which is why I
Where's
was
the warlock?
surprised
That guy
actually.
up there? The green guy.
I would have. It's tough. I feel like there's almost a way you could deploy so that there's very, very little for the Castellan to be able to shoot at from where it's at.
Remember the Castellan moves 10 inches.
Yep. No, I get that. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to deny the kill. I just don't know if I would have given it on the Plague Burst crawler so easy.
You mean given the gallant easy kills?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Oof, look at that movement. Oh my
Yeah.
god. That's why you should have shot that one.
That's why you should have put a second Plague Burst crawler up there.
Well, plus you're blocking the movement of that one. If you decide not to block the movement of the other one, you want to try to get the one that is now basically on the other side. Try to knock him down a level so he's only moving 9 inches. I think it's 7 or something like that, or instead of 12. Or no, I think it's 9. 9 instead of 12.
Does,
Which
will
can
he
make a
not
big
get to
difference,
land on the
especially if he
charge, or does
rolls
he just have to
low
start
for his
turn
advance.
within 6 of that guy to
Yeah,
get it?
start with turn instance. So
Okay, so-
that's why I move my advance on there. I did it because you move and advance at the same time, so that's when I get.
Oh no, I'm talking about for when you charge. Because Lance Riders.
You won't get it on the charge. I didn't go far enough.
A lot of
I
hand
could go
gestures.
6 inches. You know. Let's
Yep.
see. I don't think I can.
So it's gesticulating.
5 plus 2 is 7. Oh, I
Did
can.
they let him remove the trees?
He's gonna get charged and hit by
Yes.
those guys. Or
You guys don't let them?
And the forest slows.
I
charges,
wouldn't.
Yeah,
so-
I'm not
so-
going. I wasn't planning on going in that
I know.
direction.
I would rule it almost like Age of
When
Sigmar,
we-
where
when we
the
had- when we
if
moved
they
those-
can't fit
when
through
we
the
moved
trees, they can't
those
go through.
apart, that completely threw my strat because I played on this table and I was like,
But we
not
don't
this
use trees
particular
as
one, but I
terrain
played
in our
this
world.
layout and
So
when I saw those
it's not an
objectives, I was
issue.
like,
That's
we can't
true.
leave those objectives.
Well, and it's whatever. I mean, if the
up on
players
building
discuss it,
as-
like, hey, let's just pull the trees for ease of play. Then that's
Well,
what they want to do.
well, I mean, it makes things like the knights just running through those trees
Yeah.
when their base can't. Technically, the
That
bases
is
can't fit.
seriously no bueno.
Very true.
Yeah, but
So it makes things hard.
that's interesting.
Yes.
I never thought about it that way.
I want to move down there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know about Age of Sigmar now, but when the first Age of Sigmar first came out, they're like, well, if your model can't move through the trees there, they can't move through it. You can't just remove the trees and they move through. They just can't do it.
Ouch. Hey,
So-
so Adam, take a look at the chat.
All right.
And Nimzit had some thoughts on
First
the
Vindicare
4 separate beasts of Nurgle.
is going to shoot at.
And I quote, if you can't
see it.
write a list correctly,
That,
you definitely
Nurgle beast,
can't
okay.
win.
Because nothing else
Maybe
really
he's
matters.
alluding to Adepticon? I don't know.
And you're a
It just
beast. And your toughness
sounds really
is
familiar.
6. 5. So 4.
Well, there's been
How would you-
Adepticon. There
I
was
don't
another
get it
tournament.
involved,
So you
so-
take.
No, this weekend where another
this
player
weekend.
wrote their list wrong, and apparently it's something this player does all the time by quote unquote accident. It's something we're starting to see a lot of now. So
Especially with list requirements being, you have to set
yes.
the list before the tournament.
yeah, so I don't I don't know.
So to give a little more detail there, like I'm not naming names or anything, but the person wrote a list wrong and submitted it late, and then
In addition to being late, yes.
yes, and submitted it late, got a yellow card for a late list submission when they said it was illegal. You need to change this bit. They changed 1,200 points of their list to adjust for the field because all of the other lists were locked in at that point.
Right.
That was the point of discussion whether or not that was done. I wasn't there. I can't comment on, but like I have seen that before. I have seen more of. We are seeing more of people. I think trying to find new places to gain an edge.
Yeah.
But, so what are your thoughts on that? Like, say that happened at LVO. Would you do the exact same thing?
This past year, because it was the first year we did it, I think we were probably more lenient in that. Okay, like what just they did now, where okay, you just lose the model for the rest of the tournament, just keep playing, or we let people change their list, but they got the yellow card. Next year we'll have to discuss it and see if we want to be more strict about it. I know I tend to be a bit more strict on things. I know John is too usually, but it's not. It's up to the group as a whole. So we'll have to discuss it and see what is for next year. But we do take what happens over the course of the year and discuss what we're going to do for LVO.
Well, and I
say
think
drop the
something.
hammer.
Yeah, well, something to keep in mind is the expectation is the nice thing with the yellow card system and different things like this is it offers hey, listen, you've submitted your list late at 5 events. You've done the exact same thing. At some point, that you're able to identify patterns and see where the difference between an honest mistake is and someone who might be trying to abuse the system. So that's what I like about the new COC is just to be able to be like, oh, there's a pattern of behavior here, as opposed to not being able to tell the difference between a guy who just came here because he wanted to play for a weekend and just get 5 games in, and someone trying to find a competitive advantage, to exploit. That's where you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater for the inexperienced player or the player who just
Right.
made a mistake.
Well, that's yeah, and that's another thing we've discussed, which we haven't really not put into play is whether there should be almost basically a running total of people earning yellows throughout the ITC, or should it just be more of a local thing because I can earn a yellow here, but if I go over here, then I start fresh. So I don't know. We didn't publish a list of yellows issued for LVO this year, but we'll see. I mean, I'm all for the soccer style where yellows carry over, and the more yellows you earn, essentially you earn a red and you get penalized for it somehow. I don't know how to do it for ITC, but something along those lines for me personally, at least that's what my feelings are. But it would require someone to track, and it's not hearsay. It's not because our documentation's right there why people earned yellows or things like that at events that use the code of conduct. Because if you don't use the code of conduct, we can't do anything. Basically.
Well, that's the thing is there's 2 things that I think that are obvious problems when you try to implement any sort of code of conduct. One is gaming the rules of the code of conduct, which has been accounted for by in the spirit of the gamer, in the spirit of the ruling, which is in the code of conduct, which is great. The other half of it is people treating the code of conduct like mulligans.
Yeah.
So you get 2 freebies, you get 2 yellows, right? Like anyone who takes that view of I have 2 flags per game in football, or I have X number of we don't want. That's not the intent of the code of conduct. It's not to give you another tool to gamify, how you interact with your opponent. So the tracking system would eliminate that, and the more people use the COC, the other problem we have to worry about is if events choose not to use the COC, you're going to have people who maybe have already gotten in trouble in COC registered events and are no longer or on thin ice, or maybe they were red carded, whatever. They're just going to start going to the events that don't use the COC because they can do that. So there's a lot of moving parts to try and make it an enforceable system, and it just takes time.
Yeah, and while we were talking, one of the Daredevils just got picked up.
Oh, well, the Castellan shot, right?
Yeah, he's shooting with the Castellan right now.
Yeah, that
I think we
that
all
just
assume.
happened.
Yeah. look at the poor Blakebird's crawler surrounded by 3 guys.
So I don't know what I did, but yeah, this is a bad day.
So I think he spent the 2 to full tilt. Yeah, he spent the 2 command points to full tilt that night closest to us. All he needs is the Brazzers logo. And then
I think I get that.
So I don't know what he chose, but he's gonna hit something. I think he probably chose all the beasts in Nurgle. Oh, and the Plagueburst Crawler. I'd re-roll that die if I can get to the Plagueburst Crawler.
I think that it's well, I think what he's trying to do is he declared both his charges. He's out of range for the plague spitters, so the Overwatch is going to be minimal. He can kill this beast of Nurgle and then swing again immediately into the tank.
Well, he can't swing because the swing again is House Terran only.
Oh, is that House Terran? I apologize. I thought it was Crest.
No, it's House Terran. Trust me.
Okay.
I played House. That's one of the other reason I played House Terran was the plus the roll 3 dice. It's roll 3 dice, take drop the lowest, and then you get the stratagem to fight again.
Yeah.
And the fight again is like after it fights, not at
Yeah,
the
it's
end of the fight.
immediately. Yep.
And then the big
So good.
12-inch range. Minimum range.
Which is why the nerf to the Raven stratagem didn't really bother me
And then this guy will charge it.
as much as it bothered John.
There we go. They're charging
Oh,
in.
here we go. You should just pick it up. If there's two
Hold
of
on.
them charging
No,
in.
I gotta put that logo on there.
It's too late now.
Yeah. Opportunities missed.
Nope, no,
Moments
I got it.
passed.
I got it.
Uh, gotta pan up a little.
Hey, be patient.
Hitting on twos.
You guys are
There's
so mean.
there's a delay.
You know this already.
See how much fun it is with Jason, Mitch? See what you miss
Oh.
out on.
I missed out on so much.
Get out of it. Oh, no. I think hitting on chaos, I'm like, oh yeah, I hate you because you're other.
No, I hate you.
So
I-
we
I-
are.
Your hatred has a limit.
Which
I do
attack
have
is
a
he doing
chance to
first?
do more hits for sixes. That's right. That's what I'm thinking. Yep. That's too many. I missed one. So I need to have.
I know it's not as good as what Salty John would do,
This is
but
3.
This is mature content, right? You had to press a button to say okay.
sure.
9. 3.
I mean, ours is. Anyone who
It
watches
definitely is.
ours.
And 4 up if I take a mortal wound.
So is he rolling attacks for the
So let me move these aside.
Plague Burst Crawler?
So these are my saves.
Yep.
And these will bounce.
Oh, looks
back
like saves.
wounds, so I will get
Right,
Feel
but
no
uh,
pain.
mortal wounds back at
I
you.
would
no,
assume.
if he did the chain fist, it's
Oh,
This guy's I don't think it's damaged.
I know. I thought it had a little damage thing on it to tell him. Oh, there it is. I was like, I was holding it.
So
yeah, because I
Right,
still
and then
they're
you
still
take
pretty
off,
low.
and then
You
yep,
take
Jason.
let's see.
43, 4d3.
Oh, they are okay.
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
So 6,
3,
8,
6,
10.
10. Woo! All right. So I need 3 of them.
Oh, he's rolling damage.
Oh,
That's not 3 of them.
Man. Well, you know what? Let's. I should have probably done that, but let's see if we can't keep them alive. So we're gonna long bomb it because 3, 6, 7. Yep. Long bombed. So he's sitting on a wound.
Wow. That's really good.
Oh yeah, that was. Well, 4d3 wounds would have been 8 average, and make 1 or 2. I played at odds, and I failed on one set of odds and one on the other side. So I
On this guy right here,
okay.
I'll do the Reaper Chainsword.
Yep. Minus
So
1 hit.
that's over at the
Yeah.
chaos spot.
So 2s go away.
Okay.
3s hit. And it
They're on
is
threes, but they don't care.
4 wounds.
Okay.
They wound on
Let's get
twos.
2 of these. Nope.
So take 18
a lot.
damage.
3, 6.
18 damage. Look at that. Oof.
And
wow.
I need a lot of them. That back over there. Hey, make sure.
Gonna roll it.
3, 6, 9.
This is
12,
on, I think, the Plague Burst
15. Okay,
Crawlers.
so that did belong in there. It fell
Hey,
out.
it's a good thing we're not using chess clocks.
He only needs to make 7 of them, and the Plague Burst Crawler lives.
So
I think
that's
it's 12
3.
wounds.
Oh,
Could be
man.
14. I
That's
don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
And you use your reroll.
Yeah, no, I already used the reroll, but I will go ahead and spend 1 to make him auto explode.
Yep, do D3 damage.
Yep. So the guy who's kind of beat up a little bit will take 3, and this guy
Yeah,
here
so Plague Burst
will
Crawler
also
dies.
take 3.
Blows up.
Auto explodes. But the Knights don't care.
No. 3.
It's because knights are OP.
Knights are fine. They're
OOP.
perfectly balanced.
All right, I'm double checking one other thing.
The Castellan is fine. Actually, the Castellan should get a points drop. It's hardly ever used.
Yeah, I don't see it enough.
The Valiant is hardly ever used.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the Valiant has a giant gun.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do a thunder stomp thing, but it's not gonna do it.
I played against it once, and it was just
Okay.
like,
Your attack's back.
My attack's back. May I borrow one of your dice? I need a different color because for his talon. Sword, claw. So rerolls. I am out of that. So wounding on 5s.
So this is what against the Demon Prince?
So one of each. This is
No, it's a beast
3
and
wound one, and
over
this is
on
a
the,
3 damage
on the
and
right.
2 damage. So
They're
Right
both
side,
-2.
Let me
they're
draw
both
where
-2.
it's at. It's
Okay.
right here.
Oh, yeah, that's one is 3 damage, one is
yeah.
2 damage. That's what I was saying.
Let's all 50-50. So we take one. So this is 1 through 3 is 2 damage.
Oh, well,
Five
thank
is
you.
3 damage.
You're welcome.
Okay, so 2 damage.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
Glad to help.
I rolled. I was like, crap. And then your beast.
And the beast.
Yeah, once they get in your line, well, at least for me, at that
he's
point,
literally right
it's
there.
just all. I'm just waiting for the blow up phase, the explosion phase.
And,
The
6
explosion phase.
And reroll
That's pretty funny.
because his weapon does that. He's like, no.
Yeah, his that
Alright.
that most forward
All right,
gallon is
I will
set
go
up to
ahead
do a nice little.
and,
right
yeah,
there.
Yeah, because it's D6 damage, and he doesn't have to roll very high.
Nope, and he can use the stratagem to make it better.
We'll reroll
Yeah.
that. I haven't reroll yet. I hit.
And hold on.
Hey, Nimza, how do you use the
let me
Valiant?
see if the
Since
first
you love it,
mortal will kill
I
him.
find it very
Because it doesn't
underwhelming with
do
just
three
one
mortals, so
shot.
just seeing if the first one, see if it even matters to do.
So that will get me 2. I hold.
So,
4
real important,
active.
Go Boy just used 2 command
So I
points
kill more and hold more. I got
for
my old school,
reroll
got
and
a
something
big
else.
game
I don't know what
hunter,
the other one.
And he's not 10.
Two
he's not
command
big,
points?
Big game
Well, he
hunter,
used
so
1
he's
command
going-
point for a reroll.
No, Mark
Right.
That's what
He
I
was
got.
at 3, and he used 1 for something
And
else.
then I kill the one.
And I'm not sure what
Mark
knight
to
ability he
death,
might have been using.
Dreadnought.
Oh, was
that
it
was the more fancy
the
one.
grass? The grass?
Oh, Death Grip? Yeah,
How many
he
points
used
did I
Death Grip.
pull off of him?
Okay.
Uh,
Kill that nerd.
Oh, you got Time Slayer.
Yeah.
So,
6 points off of this guy.
so that's at least 1, and then this is down to 8, so that's at
Which
least.
once you just hit and
goes
you
down to
do
5,
automatically
so
do
that
D3 before you even
by
start
6
roll.
is 18, so 3.
Yep.
So you maxed it.
So it's minimum D3 plus whatever.
Yeah,
I
was
don't know if that
you
was the
maxed
right
it.
move.
I was pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah.
So you got. So you're
Because
now
it
at
isn't
5.
2 CP to explode for the
I'm
feather
at, do I get a
explosion?
bonus or
Or is it
anything?
1?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
it's
know.
2.
I don't know
So
what's the bonus.
going
he
down
can't-
one
Hold or contest
CP,
5 more
he's not
objectives.
going to have that guarantee
You do contest.
as a.
No, you don't.
I don't.
I don't know if he needs it
I
at
don't.
this point. To
That's
be
fair.
honest.
I almost.
He
I
has the
almost
game
died,
pretty
but
well in
yeah.
hand.
And the assassins still have to come in.
Yep.
So I have
5. You have 5. I have 4. Plus I'm at 8.
Okay.
So if
I'll let you
Goldboy's
keep track of it.
attacking
You're doing a
everything
great job.
on the,
You're doing a.
Well, I'm just like I said, like,
player
let's try to figure it
right.
out.
Yeah, no worries.
you can almost have the assassins all come in on the left. And
Well,
they
I-
come in behind that building where there's no line of sight. So if they
I was
chop
about to
you-
say the exact same thing. That building in the bottom left-hand corner. Put the Calidus in there. You get off a charge, you can touch the Plague Burst Crawler and the Daredeo.
well, we'll see
Shut
where
down their shooting.
we'll see where they move. Or where Niel
You didn't use any
decides to
strat
move
in that
those
first
guys,
round,
so that's
right?
going to be important. I don't know if he
Yeah, I
realizes
rerolled
it's gonna,
one,
that
and
could
I,
happen.
I think Calvin
Yeah.
makes you have to use an extra one on a 4-up.
Thank you, Jason.
No, I have
You're
to
welcome.
see if I do it.
Well,
First one.
I like my roll.
The circle
first
is
one, you have to
improving.
spend an extra one.
Go
So
ahead and
that,
roll the second one.
and the second one, you did not.
Okay.
So you just do the extra one. I forget about her every time because she's not on the table, right?
Yeah. Oh, word.
I mean, I know. I was like, I don't just use rerolls.
Okay, so
So because of the Calidus, he lost another seat.
Are you in an
Yep.
inch here?
With that,
I
no, I shouldn't
Okay.
be. I wasn't trying to. I was like,
okay.
there you go.
Okay. I wasn't sure what your intention was.
No, I didn't lock it. I wasn't planning on. I mean, I could go lock it. I guess. Yeah, I guess I could have locked it. No, I didn't because I didn't kill him until Death Grip, and that's not during an actual fight
Okay.
phase. Does that make sense?
Mhm. So he's gonna go 9 there. I measured the 18 ahead of time for his threat.
Make sure your Beast of Nurgle gets out of the way.
Yeah, true.
That's my advice to you.
Yeah,
Get the
yeah,
Beast of Nurgle out of the way.
Yeah, because I can't see him.
Yeah,
That's
I'm too big. Oh my god!
Oh no.
So I
Yeah.
did the probabilities right now, and
Okay.
right
Yeah.
now,
75% Neil. Neil's got this.
how did you guess? Here it is. It's actually a 60.58% chance for Thomas to pull this out. That's pretty good. He's just ahead by 3 points, though. So.
Yeah, none of them took anything that's end game, like no ground.
And that guy's really
It's
hurt.
the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody takes that anymore.
So
He's hitting on 4s.
But he still
now,
needs to
so.
kill. Well, he has to wait for the assassins to come in, but he may not have enough.
Hey, you know what? I will
to
allow
go
him to have
after
the
the
fly keyword
assassins
for when I
when they
shoot
come in.
him, so I get.
Yeah, the headhunter thing, he can just keep his assassins back and sacrifice maybe one. He's to get the headhunter, he's got to kill the knights, and if he's killing the knights for headhunter, he can't. He's not getting Titan Slayer or King Slayer points. So
Yeah.
he has to focus down. He's committed to killing the assassin headhunter and the Titans or the knights for King Slayer and Titan Slayer. But that's going to be hard to do as his firepower is quickly diminishing.
Well, they're measuring right now for the Terminators because the Terminators have been off.
Yep.
Yeah, I do it that way. That way I don't have to move.
So they can
dice.
take that objective number 1 to get him at least 1, because right now he only owns 2.
Well, it looks like there's a dude over there in that corner. Yeah.
Yeah. But Thomas Goat Boy has 1, 2, 3, 4. That one, I'm assuming, assassin over there.
Yep.
I love those models.
Jason, can you focus on the assassin so we know which one it is?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it looks like there's 2, one on top of the building.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably the Vindicator.
Yeah, I assume that would be the Vindicator, but
But he's not within 3 inches, so.
Oh, that's true.
And it looks like he's putting his assassins in the back.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the Terminators.
that is the Vindicator on top of the building. I can tell from
The
beam
bottom.
he's standing behind.
Bottom's the Vindicator.
There's the Vindicator. Okay, yeah, that's the same beam.
Then what's the top?
Now I can detail.
Yeah.
Same?
Yep.
Old rules we had.
Same
So he
beam.
went with 2 Vindicators. Interesting.
Well, it's the Nurgles are tough, so if he really wanted to kill the characters or put wounds on characters,
Yeah,
then-
yeah,
or
more
multi-wound like the like the Blight Lord Terminators.
Sure.
You can do it twice, like the headshot,
Yeah.
things like that.
Maybe he felt like their ability to always wound on 2s if you're not a vehicle.
Yeah, it's gonna come in handy with the Blight Lord Terminators.
We're good. All right. So psychic phase.
So it looks like he's deploying as far back.
He's gonna get
Trying to.
beat up.
Oh man, would I put them there though?
I don't think so. I mean, I get what he's trying to do, but I feel like the place to put them would be behind
Behind the
the
hill?
behind the hill in the left corner. Yeah,
I will then
because
then he could- No, go ahead.
you can move through the terrain next turn. The Castellan has to start moving away, and you can end up kind of,
and it'll go off with a
and it's
7.
gonna actually force him to. It'll force a bigger pullback of the knights if he has to respond. Whereas where it's at right now, they're
Good.
2 knights move backwards.
Okay.
The Castellan shoots into them. The 2 gallons charge in and kill all of the Plague Lords, and you, or the yeah, I mean
Blight Lords, yeah.
Blight Lords. Thank you. And they're done.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but
Veterans, I was making sure it's not at the
that's
beginning
what I
of the
see. Is
shooting
he's put him
phase
in a
as
very.
opposed to when the-
It's
as soon as you
he's
shoot
going to
him.
be able to
I'm
just
pretty sure,
turn 3
but
knights around and shoot them and deal with them.
after
And maybe
running
he
around
thinks
with
that's all
extra
he needs
It's
right now to
vertical unit,
It's infantry
control
only.
his own zone.
right,
But
no, I'm-
there's already
Just
still
making
going
sure.
to be.
People
If he
have
kills
like-
the
people have like,
gallant
it's not
down
infantry.
And
the
how many
furthest
wounds he got left?
into his
Oh,
deployment
you're
zone,
combi bolts for the-
that could work,
So,
especially
here's what
since it
we're
may
gonna
not explode now.
Right.
we
If he doesn't
will
kill it, he has a huge
fire,
problem.
This guy
So
Flamer's here.
I guess he's confident he can
Mortar.
take down that gallant.
at that guy.
Well, that begs the question now.
then,
Where would you put
know what?
the assassin?
We're gonna heavy slugger that guy too.
Right
We're gonna
now?
try and finish him off. So let's do
Let's
him first.
let's say the
Yep,
Blight Lord
heavy sluggers.
Terminators don't make the charge,
I will hit
or they
3
don't even
times,
bother charging the Castellan. They're just there no
And
matter
then
what.
I will wound on
Yeah.
5, strength 5.
Oh,
heavy slugger.
told you.
He's got his 2
You can add up the
Vindicators,
six, man.
so he's got a Calidus and a
and
Ever.
then
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
sure, yeah.
you don't really have anything else to
Maybe
throw
2
the
shots?
Everstore at.
Need 4s.
But
Neither.
Calidus, I
And
think,
then
is
the
going to
flame
struggle
throwers?
with the strength 5 or T5
Six.
versus
That's
strength
all right.
4.
You're a +1 strength.
So
I am
collect
now strength 8,
Urvisor
tough
at the
7,
Blight Lord Terminators.
So wounding on
Mm.
3s.
Yeah, he doesn't have another job right.
Because that's basically it for Neil. He doesn't have anything else to bring in.
I will be right back,
So
guys.
5 of them.
No worries.
5 for us. I will fail 1.
Okay. This guy, he did not advance. He did move. He's going to do the same split. So,
Big cannon there. He moves.
big cannon and slugger there. So he's hitting on 5s, and then the flamethrower's there. So big cannon is 3 shots. Needing 5s. I got 2 hits. He does get to reroll the 1 for the prince.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I
but
don't know
it's
if I'd
still
be
missed.
splitting fire like that.
And 4s.
Is the goal
Arch
just to
Contaminator.
focus down a unit?
He may just be focusing down just to take it
There.
down to the next level, but even
Okay,
at that
so
level, he has
like
this. He
this,
can still has 1 command point. If he wanted
now
to,
hitting slugger.
he could use it to bring it up
about
to
the
full,
ones.
which I think is actually 2, but I'll double check.
And,
But either
5s.
way, you still have a knight. They hit on 3s in close, or 4, no,
Don't
2,
care.
3,
Okay.
4s in close
And,
combat
now
still.
the flamethrower.
And if he uses the stomps, he doesn't
46.
care. 15 attack, hitting on 4s, you're still
Yeah.
wounding on 2s or
Rerolls.
3s.
Yeah, I'd
So
agree with that.
5 at -1.
I would just focus 1 down just to kill it and get myself a Titan Slayer.
I'm back.
So it looks like
average
he's
out to where it
splitting
should've been
his
when I took
fire
Right.
Hey, I'm
of the Plague Burst crawlers between the knight closest to
I'm gonna
him
go ahead and
and the knight on
them
objective
now.
3.
do,
Because that one,
everybody,
because
yeah,
that's the
everybody's
closest
at
one to the
24.
Blight
They're
Lord
gonna shoot
Terminators.
all here. I'm gonna go ahead and do
But I don't think
veterans.
I think you should just concentrate on the one closest to him.
So we
Yeah,
got
I think that
was
if
trying-
that
I was
one
hoping
doesn't
to
go
get lucky
down,
there.
there's
I know.
another
I know.
third
you
of
knew
his
what was going on.
firepower.
Exactly. So here,
Yeah,
I'll
'cause
do
all-
the,
The
Blight
base is
Launcher
wide
first.
enough. Well,
So I will hit 3 times.
the base is wide enough where he
25,
could
90
touch both
force.
Plague Burst crawlers.
I get 1 -2.
Mm-hmm. Or he
So-
could go after the Daredeo as
So
well if he
it
keeps
will
his
be-
base
right.
sideways.
3 damage.
Yeah,
Is what I
and
was
then
looking at.
and then
'Cause
just
that's
turn.
not a
Yeah,
ruin, so he can change levels on it.
Yeah.
5.
and then after he kills their Deo, he just
And-
touches one of the Plague Burst crawlers.
15.
And the flails don't
Okay,
have.
so to
But
think
it's-
about in
okay.
the assault phase, which
20.
should the Bright
look
Lord
what.
Terminators charge?
Bolt-
The
Bolter
Castellan,
beta
or
roll.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
is that
I
is
don't
that
see
kind of
nine
the
in
only
all
viable
have,
target
you know,
right there?
The
So
Castellan's the
24
only
bolter
charge.
shots
Like,
into
if that
him.
makes any sense, because if the Castellan doesn't die, he loses, right? Because it's gonna
Yes.
it's gonna pick up another Plague Burst crawler at least. It's it's gonna pick up by turn 3. He has no tanks left. He has
You
maybe 1 dreadnought
need-
left max.
And then I need
And the Castellan can just
6s
walk
go
away
to
from the Blight Lord
5s
Terminators because
on
the
two of
Castellan
them.
moves 10.
Yep.
Blight Lord
I need you
Terminators
to
only
fail a
move
bunch,
what,
okay?
4?
I have
4.
2. That's a good chance of failing
Phew.
2.
You know,
Not to mention that the Castellan
And
puts out a
probably,
lot of high
since
quality
I'm near the
firepower that the
ziggurat,
Blight Lords don't
or
really
the
like.
trees, would you say I wouldn't be 50% covered?
If he
I might
wanted to,
be.
he could almost
Would you
ignore
say
the
if
Blight
trees
Lord,
were up, would I be
Blight
50%
Lord
covered?
Terminators
if
after
you want to
this.
stick them
Yeah.
out, they're
Let's
pretty
look.
high.
That's
is the only
fair.
thing.
'Cause I
He
probably
could
wouldn't- I'm
literally
not
put
gonna
his
take
whole
back
army
the
on the
Blight
other
Launcher
side of the
'cause I
board.
don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the
Because
charge
check
isn't
your
made for the
line
Blight
sight
Lords,
there.
he can
The
just
trees
move
are
the
so-
Castellan
yeah.
I didn't. That's why I didn't even try.
forward
But
But hey,
and
you know
just
what?
carry everything
you
forward.
just need to fail
Yeah.
2 of these
And just keep
3
going.
saves.
I can do it
I
for
mean,
you.
he
Okay,
could
I
maybe
would appreciate it.
move the Vindicator's
not
just so
yet.
they don't get
So he's sitting
charged,
on
I guess, but still. Or it's harder for them to
Okay.
make the charge.
I'm gonna make you blow the really crappy one at it.
You wanna
You know,
do the math
That
hammer
one you
on
already
it
know
real
is
quick?
crappy.
What is
See
he-
if the
what is he
the
on?
Blight
13?
Lords could
Okay,
kill
he's on
the
13.
Castellan in one go.
Do they only have bolters? What do they have?
No, I mean in assault. So
Alright,
how many
An assault?
how many
Oh, the axes are
attacks do they
Cannons here.
get?
I'm gonna fire
Yeah.
everything else at him.
Yep.
With
So
Death to the
here's
False
his,
Emperor, did they get
green
that
tree?
for
yeah, Havoc Launcher.
Knights?
So I'll add 2 to
Yes,
that.
because it's an Imperium unit.
Yeah,
2,
yeah,
4,
they'll
6
do
every
work
4
against it,
shots.
for sure.
And, hitting on 4s.
Kill it in one shot. I don't know, but kill it quickly.
There we go. And 5s.
So how many attacks do they get? I
one.
think I got this little
Where?
cool math hammer thing
yeah,
that I
minus
want
1.
to try to figure out.
In cover. So
I
gonna
do
make
not
it.
have those stats in front of me. I don't have the.
You're gonna make me look
4,
up stuff.
6,
I am.
8, and then here's at the
Why I
I
hired
have
you.
Death. I have the
Free.
Death Watch book. Oh, here it is.
And
Blight Lord
threes.
Terminators.
Yeah.
He has 10 of them.
1 minus 1.
Good.
He likes it. And
He's got 2 of the flails.
They have 2 attacks each, with the champion having 3.
1 damage. What's his movement now?
6.
So 21.
6.
The flail,
6.
you make an
We'll gamble
additional
again.
D3 hit rolls
guns
for
at
each
him.
attack
Butch
instead of
cannons him.
1.
So they have 2d3
That-
each.
3d3.
Each
Wow.
flail.
There we go.
Yeah.
2, 1, and 1. And this guy's hitting on 2s.
hitting on 3s, right?
Yes.
And
Strength is
Their strength 4. The flail gives them a +2 to their strength.
I'll re-roll this one. It's pretty.
So their strength 6. So they wound on 5s.
Ah, cool. It paid off. It was.
But
a
the
5
flails,
plus
remember,
Yeah, yeah,
Death
no,
for the
let's
False
just like
Emperor, they get an
this.
additional
How many?
attack on
4
every
of them.
6
-1.
to hit
That's
rolls.
one
That guy.
cover because I am
gotcha.
nearly ziggurat.
So if it's
So
the
those
flails, it's
flails,
another D3.
which,
Yeah,
like,
it's
not
a lot.
Really,
It stacks real
What's
quick.
covered is.
No, I already see that. I don't have enough room.
But
So
they'll have to
you
make
just say
and
like
survive.
5 attacks a piece, right?
I die.
Okay.
With the flails?
I
He
don't
does
blow
not
up.
It's 2d3.
explode.
2d3, yeah, yes. Sure, 4 or 5
And
on
the
average.
butcher cannons. And
Oh,
this guy.
that knight got picked up.
1 miss.
Yeah.
If you want to look. 1 miss.
I play them enough times. That's a common roll.
I know. And 3s.
Oh,
So,
that was the one that was already
4 and
damaged.
-1 on this guy.
Right.
Yes, that. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
makes
1, 2
sense.
more.
So how much
Down
damage do
to
the flails do?
11.
Flails do I think D3? No, 2.
And-
2 damage each.
All right. I believe that is all of my shooting.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead. 'Cause I fired there.
But let's see
So I'm gonna do
if this
charges.
works.
Okay.
Before I forget, I'm gonna charge.
Are you
here, and I'm
using the
gonna
Fields
charge
of Blood math
there.
hammer?
I am. No, I'm not. I'm using actually
it's gonna
this
hurt,
is
but
Fields of
whatever,
Blood.
it's gonna hurt either way.
There we go.
All right, let me do roll this one real
Uh,
quick.
Yeah.
That's the only math
Yeah,
hammer
well done.
calculator I use.
Roll their
So,
distance. Because
that's what I was
with
asking.
2 units, I'm
Yeah.
gonna forget one of them. So 4.
6 is not
So you're looking
good.
at 6 damage, so not enough
You know
to
what?
take it
Great
down a
point.
notch.
I did it once.
Yeah, correct.
Taking it down a notch
Dice,
isn't even enough. Kill it.
There you go. Let's see what.
Put your
Well,
play.
taking it down would make it hit on 4s
Alright.
at least. So
Yeah,
whatever he's
but-
shooting at is
6 shots from the
Yeah.
volcano lance. I reroll 1.
So it's not very good odds.
No.
4 shots
Although,
from Melta. 1 hit. I wound you. No, I don't wound you.
Yeah, tough 5.
2, 3 from the other guns.
Is he doing Overwatch right now?
3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Roll the 1, nothing, and the plasma.
Yeah, for the cast one.
6. Oh,
But if
6
we're rolling that many dice for Overwatch, then yeah.
So I
'cause
just want you
everything
to know,
else
this is
doesn't
actually
matter.
how this is just a house crast trait. This is how my house crast knight rolls also. So 9 inches. And
Made the charge.
all right.
You don't mind me moving, do you?
No, I don't.
Because you're not gonna be able to get
Yep.
everyone in.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and you charge this knight also.
This is really
who?
important.
This
This is where
guy?
he can
Actually,
Yeah,
hold on
you
a
s-
second.
he can bring it back.
Spikes,
Stubborn doesn't matter.
spikes high.
5 minus 2. That may not get it, so that's gonna be a
Nope.
3-inch charge. 3 puts me there. Nope, he fails.
But I don't think he's like
Ooh.
Thomas said. He's not going to
That's
get
fine. I'm
enough
not sure
guys
that I
in
could
to-
do 11 wounds to him.
Depends which guys also.
Eh.
Because if the flails are out
I
of
got
range.
I got the longbow.
outside of
I'm
it,
All
it's
right,
not
so
gonna
with
hurt
everything
as
you had on
much.
there, moving correctly, you're gonna
More
have
of
the
an
first level of
inconvenience.
5. You're gonna move like this. You want to try to go towards here.
yeah, I'm gonna.
So go dance, and try to pull this objective from me.
Yeah, can I? And then
Yeah.
I think I can get the.
So it looks like the charge failed on the
Right, yeah, that's what I think. So
Gowan.
that's my thought.
From who? From
And then you
I'm
How do you
guessing the
include
demon
that?
prince because
Yeah, and then you
the
consolidate
yeah
again
the
at
plague
the
burst
bigger
crawler
base,
couldn't
so
make
you
it
touched one guy there.
or couldn't
Sound
fail
good?
it.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and spend my last one.
For what?
Yeah,
for
charging
the
him with the
longbow,
plague burst crawler
because,
just means the plague burst crawler.
There.
Yep.
This is only ever.
It's not like
happened-
there's Overwatch
this
you're
is my
trying to
second time
dodge.
to ever get them
No.
into combat with him. With a.
So his last command point is getting spent.
Done as I can.
To do what?
So
We do not know
flails,
yet.
will be.
Jason, any idea what he
And
spent his
2.
command point on?
Sorry, I was focused on the camera.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
Oh, and if you want to go ahead and do your stubborn shots at me, I did declare.
I
the
missed.
charge.
I missed.
Okay. So
One
I
to-
didn't get any 6s.
Fails are strength.
I'm winning on 5s. Plus 1 is 4s.
Reroll once.
No
With reroll.
6s.
Reroll 1. So now here's the only thing with these guys.
Oh, he could have played
is These 2 are AP minus 3.
Veterans of the Long War.
These 2 are AP minus
Probably.
2.
Because then he
AP
was on,
minus
then he
two?
was on
Yep.
4s.
Don't care.
Okay.
AP minus
Ooh,
3.
only 4 hits.
And 6.
Okay.
4
So
wounds.
4 damage.
Well,
Yikes.
four hits, but we'll see
Four
how many
damage.
wounds.
Then
You have
2,
1,
4,
2, 3.
5.
Yeah.
So 5.
They all have axes, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, plus 1 for the Oh, I got a
Damage,
6
but
this
just
time.
been the,
There we go.
Flails.
Gets me another hit.
So these are the axes. It's,
Oh,
it's
yes,
the
yes,
math
yes.
is
I
I didn't get
constant,
any of
so
my
it's
none of my
maybe-
flails. Got
I know.
sixes
I was
to
like,
hit,
what's
so
going
I
on?
was like- So I was like, okay. And these are also wounds on 4s. No ones. So I got
Yeah,
3
and
sixes
that's the
this
thing
time.
is you
Those are
can't
AP
count
-3. This is an AP
Or
-2.
explodes.
So AP minus.
Like he was just saying, all those flails that could have
So
given
two
him
on
D3
first,
more hits.
two.
None of them got 6s.
-2. I
Yeah.
take a wound.
Ouch.
And the 3s.
That's why they
I
should
make-
all have flails.
So I take 3 wounds.
If only.
Right? 3. Yeah, 3 wounds. Yeah, 3 wounds. All right. I'm gonna burn a command point for my crash trait. Yeah. Move him over here. Like 3 might not.
So he
Let's
just
see.
took 5
No,
wounds
it's not
on the
gonna give me any-
Castellan.
I'm just trying to.
I'm gonna get out.
Total?
I can get out of combat, doesn't matter.
Total.
That was about the math you had, right?
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
I
go this-
think it
don't
was at
really care.
6, 5.9 or
Like, basically-
5.6.
basically
Like
go
And he's
to
trying to
the
get as
battle.
much movement as humanly possible,
But
because
we'll see,
obviously
let's
he
see some fun
knows
and
that
little fun.
Castellan can
I'm
just
gonna burn
step
my
out of
last command
combat.
point for the craft.
Yeah. It's not down a level, so it'll move 10 inches away. I mean,
And how much did I do total to him? So he's at 20.
Yeah.
They start at 20.
I think he's just trying to get on the objective.
And then
Oh.
Thomas
I would
used
just
it.
move I would just give that objective up
Hitting
and
on
just move,
3s, I
start
reroll
moving
all my
the
misses.
Castellan away.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Craft.
I'd
And-
move. I'd move
Fours,
straight into the
Which
middle.
re-rolls because I
You know,
charged you.
as much as
Yes,
possible.
would
Or
do-
if
and
you're,
every six
uh,
is 3
if you have the line of sight, I guess you can move to the left and still have line of sight.
I would
That
move
should
to
be
yeah, to the left more because that's more direct. He doesn't have to walk around anybody.
Yep. fine.
And let's see if he gets any of the Light Lords.
Yeah.
3s. Yep. 3s.
I mean, he hits on 4s.
And he's
So-
used his last command point for
Housecrast.
Housecrast. Yeah.
You take 11.
6, 9, 10, 11.
You mean for their specific stratagem?
4 ups.
You got it, sir.
That's not so
I
good.
think
I'm
it's-
not.
So 8.
That's a lot of
but he's
saves.
gotta go one at a time.
Yeah, exactly, I know.
It's
All right,
minus
the
2.
First one.
You know.
So it's a 4 plus immutable
Two?
anyway.
Okay, so
And it's D3 damage each.
so
One- one-
just
Yeah.
Uh,
One's dead.
pull one out. Yeah, there you go.
Now here's the long
Next
part
one.
where he has to make every
Yeah.
like save.
1.
So 1 dies so far.
He likes it.
Next one. 2.
A lot here. There's a wound there.
Next one. 3.
Oh, an unmodified roll
Okay.
of 6.
I'll just pull that guy.
Gets
Probably
2
easier.
hits instead of 1 for house,
Yep.
or 3 hits instead of
just-
1 if it's a chaos.
It
unit.
doesn't
Yeah.
tax over it, so yeah.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is
pulling
pretty
this
solid.
on him.
So I don't know if he rolled any
Yeah, yeah,
6s,
yeah,
but
we're
they're
doing
kind of.
it.
That's probably why there
He
was a lot of
did,
hits.
Yeah, he did.
2.
There were a few.
That's actually really good.
He loves it.
He likes it.
2.
Rolling lots of
He likes
2
it
damage
also.
over there.
3.
3.
He's
so
dead.
he's dead, and one last one.
2.
Also dead. Here, let me make sure that.
So kill 4. Here you go, sir.
Let me make sure there's nobody.
Yeah, make sure I didn't pull anybody bad.
Okay.
I don't think I did I?
No.
Wow.
That's a lot.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, make sure.
All right.
Leadership on
So
them?
their leadership, I believe.
They're losing
8,
9, so
maybe
4,
9.
5, 8,
Yeah.
6.
So
5.
there we go.
morale
6.
roll will
Lose a
matter.
guy.
Excellent, excellent point.
yeah, if you got a guy with a
Viv,
storm bolter,
Yeah.
that not sure if the gallant in the bottom
Yeah, make sure you
right
pull the right.
is
That's it.
a character or not, but if it was, they could have heroically
Okay,
intervened
yeah, yeah.
into
There you go.
the Plague Burst Crawler,
You got to,
or
still
possibly
with
the
you.
Beast of Miracle.
All right.
Might not be, which is why he had to take. He took head Titan Slayer.
You
Probably.
Oh,
See
you
if-
killed 1.
there, but
You got that 1. You got 2. So you have 1. You definitely have 1 objective. You hold 1. You killed 1. So you got kill 1, hold 1. You already maxed out Titan Slayer. You haven't got
Oh, I did do Titans.
Kingslayer or Headhunter. All right.
Okay.
He only,
All right, that's you.
so Thomas only has, I
Okay.
believe, 6 command points, or 5. 6. 5,
Hey,
9, 8.
I'm gonna shoot you. No.
He only has 8
Yeah, I'm
command
gonna shoot
points,
you.
so I don't know how many.
That
he
sounds
started
about
with.
right.
And then I'll.
I don't know how
charge
many he started with.
Well, he's always spending 1 on a.
Housecrast.
I don't think he spent any to make the knight's characters.
Mm.
I think Niel is banking on killing the assassin.
And we
might
said
be a
that we
long
have
shot
to
at
move
this
up and
point,
down on this
'cause
thing.
if Thomas wants to
He's
deny,
gonna go less. He's gonna go 10.
he just puts all his assassins in that top
Five,
right
Just
corner.
leave it now.
Yep.
I was- It's 10 now, so I was just trying to see what I want to
Like you said, it looks like he's going
I'm just
after
gonna
the
go,
Daredeo.
Yeah.
kill.
He's looking at it. We'll see if he goes for it.
I think you're well.
stuff.
Can you make sure you?
Yeah,
The chaos can the chaos
Yeah, I'm
spawn
going
really
towards
do
that.
anything to him? I mean,
No.
So I'll contest and pull you off the objective. I'll contest your objective, so.
but he may not have the
There,
one
there,
inch.
there.
Okay, decided not to do that. Going with just getting in there on those Beasts of Nurgle.
Yeah.
Interestingly, he doesn't have tying horror right now. So I feel like,
So I can't go there.
I guess he's looking at
oh, you did hero.
once he gets on that objective number 4, he'll get
find a
hold
place I
more.
could hide from you.
So I think that maybe that was his
don't
thought,
think
is
I
that if he
can.
goes Beast of Nurgle,
You.
he'll be on the objective. He'll be
You.
tying on 2. No, he's still not going to have it. He's still just tying, because unless he kills both of them.
Well, I think he's putting one of the
Assassins.
assassins over near in that building that we talked
Does
about.
look that way, yeah. Maybe he's going to go
5.
touch the Daredeo.
Yeah.
Or just try and get on that that objective number 5. The Calidus could certainly pop up and take a few shots at the Beast
So I
of
can
Nurgle.
go, make sure
Oh,
I'm
it looks like
nine
it's
out.
the Eversor, because he's
Okay.
deploying so far away, I'm guessing.
Here's your 9.
Yes, make sure. I'm just gonna kill him.
I know he's a 10-inch charge, but
D6, 3d6. We'll see. I've done like the. You ran 15. It's like, something happens.
well, I'll make you roll. That's why I always roll the
how far does she go out?
discussing resilient.
Where
4
would you
inches.
put all that's left is the Calidus, right?
Yep. You were right as
Yep.
always, Adam.
You can't see me. I'm gonna charge you for now. Cause I'm done.
Sure, my
Uh,
wife
the-
would disagree.
So unfortunately,
that was the
see if I can.
the
See where-
Eversor?
where you can't
I
see.
believe so.
That was the Eversor, yes. I zoomed in.
Crap.
Would you put the
Oh, I'm
Calidus,
gonna fix it.
depending on what you roll, near the
I know.
one of the demon
I am so
princes?
sorry. Oh crap.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
No.
you could do
We have
that.
model down.
All right, give me a second. I have glue, so
Uh-oh.
I'll fix it.
Oh.
It's my fault. All right.
It was Dreadnought.
Got
Move
it.
this guy
Uh-oh.
to my
Daredeo.
stuff so I can fix it for you.
Okay.
I do enough of
Oh,
this stuff.
we got broken pieces. Casualties happen.
At least
Good
it's
thing
not a
Thomas
brass
is
sword.
a professional painter.
I even brought drill bits. I can actually drill. So am I in a place where you can see me?
Yeah, you can charge.
Just you tell. I'm not 4 inches away because I think I
Yeah.
have to be more than that. But
It's
all right.
all good.
I'm sorry, man. All right. All right. Shooting. He's gonna shoot at one
So
of
at
these
this
guys.
point, would you charge the Plagueburst
Two up.
Crawlers being this close?
Hits. I wound on a 2 up.
I
I wound.
don't
you.
think
What's
he
AC?
needs to. I think you can
No
charge the
normal
Beast
save
of
and it's
Nurgle
-3.
Just touch
five
and
out.
touch
and
the
just
Plagueburst
touch the
Crawler.
Plagueburst Crawler super easily, and then the other one will
takes
because it's fresh.
3 wounds.
Or you can charge the Demon Prince.
Yeah,
Kill one guy.
yeah. The Demon Prince is probably
next
where it's
guy.
at because the
Will hit as
yeah.
well.
I mean that was such a bad round of combat.
Never mind, Vindicare.
Light
One
Lords.
always messes
That
up.
you just need to worry about this corner over here. If you can
there,
settle most of
there.
this down,
All right.
you're good to go.
We are going to shoot. We're going to shoot the missile at the Didiro. We're going to shoot.
Yeah, like I said,
these two
that
guns
oval base is
at
wide
the
enough. You
Didiro.
can just touch
We'll do
the
Volcano Lance and everything else there.
Demon Prince and then swing it so that it's within
sorry,
1
Volcano
inch
Lance
of
and
the
what?
Plagueburst Crawler.
Volcano Lance and the
Mhm.
plasma there.
Okay.
Without declaring.
All right.
I
Missile
mean,
at
I've
the
done it
Didiro. This is
plenty
one
of
that really
times.
matters.
Like, I'm charging these two guys.
I
Oh,
don't
they're
hit.
like 5 inches apart. That's all right. My base is
The
like wide
guns.
enough to.
Yeah. Exactly. There's room enough for everyone.
I know, right? Is he shooting at the Blight Lord Terminators?
And your toughness is 8 or
I think
7?
so, yeah.
7.
No, Plague Bros
One
Collars.
wound.
No.
Minus 1.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
He's good. Sorry, it slipped out of my fingers.
No, I was like,
I guess the melted gun would be at the Blight
spit
Lord.
it and it caught on the finger and just.
I was like, woo!
It's almost being
And then
like
like
a
it
shoe.
slid across. Good job, dude. It's the missile that missed. All right.
Can I adjust your mic?
Plasma. 7 shots. We'll go ahead and overcharge it.
Is it making? Is it what it touch it? Is it? Oh, okay. Well, I just had some morale of having a model.
I'm really,
so
I'm upset because I can't stand it. It kills me. I'm really very sorry. You know, come on, I'm so sorry. It's because I have one. I've broken it too. 5 wounds to them at -4. The plasma.
it's how many? 5.
Mhm.
So 2 will go.
So 2 do 3
Yeah.
damage apiece.
Like,
Some good banter back and forth.
These are
That's really
Yeah,
good.
yep.
shots, 2 damage each.
Yep,
They're 3 damage when you're shooting.
I've been
Oh,
there. I
okay,
watched
so 2
a
damage piece.
perfectly painted
First
Forge World
guy,
Knight
and so the
Acheron, or
second
Acheron,
guy,
however you
same
pronounce it,
guy. So he's
get
alive
dropped
and
off a table. I didn't do
I
it,
don't give no F.
but it was my buddy. It was my buddy's Acheron, and oh man, it's rough. That resin, it sucks.
Yeah, I dropped my brass scorpion.
Oh yeah, that sucks too.
4 wounds.
It's still in pieces right now. I can't bear to put it together again.
Wait for it to be good.
I know, right? So
I've got the old school one made out of 2 defilers.
that's the brass scorpion, not the greater brass.
And then
Oh.
we'll
The
take
greater, it's called the greater brass scorpion, but nobody sees the 2 defiler ones anymore. So
You got it.
Yeah. What's funny is Frankie is like, yeah, you can play that as the brass scorpion.
I'm like, no. Well, I don't know. Is it the same size?
No, it's much smaller. But they said that this was last year. I had
Oh.
emailed them saying, I'm like, hey, if I want to bring this to a tournament, can I? And they're like, yeah, it's an old school model, but a lot of work went into it. It's fully painted and stuff. So they were okay with that. But if I was going to a big GT or something, and I would bring the appropriately sized model.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, bringing an armor cast Shadow Sword, that would feel very good. Those things are tiny.
Well, compared to now, back then.
Yeah, exactly.
charge there?
I have seen multiple on eBay and been tempted to be like 2 inches narrower and 2 inches shorter.
Yeah.
Hey.
I wouldn't actually do that, but I
Yeah,
actually
Sure
do
gonna
really
charge
want
the
that
beast.
old model for my Imperial Guard.
That'll do it.
There
It's a
goes,
very cool one.
There
Oh.
goes into the.
There it is.
Khaled is going to charge the Diro.
The
And
other
he
sword is
makes the
actually one of
charge.
my favorite
That'll do it.
assassins because even though you deploy 9 inches
That
away,
knight's
you
gonna
roll
charge
3d6
the
and you can
beast.
almost guarantee
Yeah.
a charge in.
That'll do it.
Yeah, your average goes up so
That
much.
knight will charge the your Demon Prince.
And then we're gonna
4
see.
Nope. He's got 6. So does 4 get me or no?
Everyone's charging
yeah.
everybody around. Let's see where
Yeah.
it
Don't
goes
break
to
it
the
up.
other guy.
I don't
Looks like
think
the
it
Demon
does.
Prince.
Yeah,
Or
at
does
the
it?
bottom
Does it give you
corner.
with an inch?
Yeah, he's in.
I think he rolled. What did he roll? A 3?
He rolled a 4.
4.
All right.
Should be with them.
Since we have no more command points apiece, I'll just go through my assaults.
Okay.
I wouldn't even bother moving that base because it's going to end up touching the other for Scrawler anyway.
There.
Mhm.
I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I can reroll those. Haha.
Or it should. See if he can
3.
get rid of the difference.
Evil Beard. I would not recommend Shadow Sword. That
5
3 up
wounds.
invo goes away. They Shadow Sword die like crazy to Castellan.
Oh yeah.
So 2 go through.
So you guys
First
have any
one
theories on
does 3.
what's going to happen to the Castellan?
I speculate nothing.
Pull it back down.
I have tons of theories. None of them
Second
are.
one. That's 1.
You got a wound on him. There's a token somewhere.
No, we're not going.
Okay.
We know.
Here, just put a die next to him.
Well,
All
that's
that.
That guy against the
Is that
beast.
all? Oh, there's one. There's
He is
one
hurt.
Light Lord
He's
left.
at his. He's going to hit on 3s.
I think 1 or 2.
Let me zoom in.
Oh, he's behind the. Oh,
Yeah,
there,
it's
there he
behind.
is. There's one. There it is.
Oh, I see him on the camera.
On the other,
Roll 2s?
the other angle.
1s and 2s.
Yep, we got one there.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it covered.
Yeah, because you zoom in, I just see
That
more of the
was 5, right?
Castellan.
So red.
I mean, it is beautifully
12,
painted.
13.
I have no doubt. Go
Is he
for
doing
it.
the stomps on the?
10.
It almost looks like a stop sign.
Yeah, stop having fun.
And then
Stop putting your models on the table. I'm just gonna take them off.
Yeah, I know.
4, 7
Stop
of them.
choosing
Oh,
vehicles.
shit. I forgot those D3.
Yeah, or characters with more than 9 wounds.
Yes.
2, 6.
Here's
We
the
could
worst
riff on this all day.
I know, right? Oh, Castellan. I used to run a Shadow Sword too. When the Castellan came out.
Hey man, you're talking to someone who owns like 10
Yes, please
Baneblade
don't.
Jesse.
I'm
I know.
gonna go
I
fix
missed
your guy in
them
a second.
so much.
I got good Religious, that's a little bit better
You
on
can
it.
use them in Apocalypse. They're so
we'll walk
good.
forward here. And then that guy over there.
All right, so that's contested.
Yep.
-1 to hit.
He is now
Make
getting
sure I have 15 out.
clearly.
Yeah, because
the only
everything else.
uncontested objective is 1.
So 2s
Yeah.
go away.
It looks like he also
pretty-
touched. Can you zoom in on that bottom left dreadnought?
Ones go away
Is there
as
an
well?
assassin there? It's hard to
Oh
tell.
yeah, I think there might be.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like there
5.
could be, but I'm having a hard time telling with
5,
the.
2, 4, 5.
Jason.
Working
There we
on
go.
it.
Yeah, he's got a delay.
3 will go in.
I'm guessing that's the Callus.
3.
4, 5.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's her.
Yep. That expert move right there. Great
Sounds like
play.
2, so
Just
he's
touch
down to
touch it. It's not
5.
there to do damage. It's not going to take damage from it,
Here we go.
but it's going to shut down
Ivysaur
100
attacking
or
into
200
the
points worth of
beast.
shooting.
Hits on 2s. Your toughness 5, so it's 4 as you roll.
And the other thing is that his knights are going to be
You're piling
blocking
into this guy, right?
at the assassins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he's
so
it's a
6
pretty
wounds
safe
on the
play. There's not a lot that Niel can
Did you have a base
counterplay
under
that
these guys?
left half of the board with right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I don't
just
really care.
his half the board unless
So,
he
how many did you say? 6?
well
No.
unless for some reason he doesn't
7.
touch the plague bird or
Yeah.
sprawler at
No,
the
it's
end. If he
8,
forgets
sorry.
that would be
No,
an
it's
error.
not
That
that.
would
6 wounds. It was only 6.
give an opening.
Okay.
I'm wounding on. I'm not wounding on like 2s. Yeah.
And Evil Beard, yes, you can play a lot of infantry to
Roll feeling pains.
cast a ton of infantry that are good against other infantry. You
Alright.
kind of answer both questions in the list design at that point, and that's where it can get unfun for people. And the bigger problem is it removing vehicles from being viable in the game period right now.
Yeah, there's lots of vehicles I want to use, but kind of
Yeah.
like,
4 attacks.
I have a whole demon engine army that I want to use. It's like-
Oh, you're
No
so
man,
mad.
I saw what that new Chaos Lord riding.
the Lord Discordant.
Yes, the Lord Discordant. I'm like, oh, 12 wounds. Nope, sorry GW.
Alright.
Try again
I
next
mean,
time.
I'm gonna try to run him with, if I can, 2 of him, with the Corn Blood Slaughterers and the Chitin.
2
See how that goes.
Fun list.
Corn. The Chitin can advance 2d6, so I use the advance in charge stratagem.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll go where he needs to go. Hopefully it's at a Castellan.
I have. Oh, there it is.
That is the goal. I've only played against the
Here's the
Kaitan in
blueprints.
a couple games, so I'm not super familiar.
He's not as good as a Gallant. Gallant's still better,
Roll that.
but I mean,
What isn't?
Wounding on.
Gallants are
3s.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're the end all.
Roll this
They're
one
very efficient at what they
separately
do.
Because that's
Yeah.
extra damage.
yeah,
It's
for
hard to
that many
find
for that many
Is it
points.
-2?
Pointed
but yeah,
model.
so this one's
Yeah.
-2.
The
so
And
stats
the-
are
3 damage.
tables.
3 damage.
Yeah, the
So
Chitin's
4
like
up.
20. Oh, it's 2 wounds less.
Okay, so take
Only
3,
hits
and
on
then this
3s,
one
but I
is
can
his
use a
axe,
Demon
which is
Forge to
-3
reroll all
3
hits and
damage.
wounds.
That's good.
Take
But the
6.
problem is
Okay.
he's 50
The
points.
extra
Well, he's like
damage
400
on that
points.
first
He's
roll
50
is
points
because
more
I
than a
have
Gallant.
100%. I know. Yeah. I'm like-
That is a lot.
Yeah. So
I know that
But he has a
one,
gun,
like-
doesn't
I
he?
just wanna make sure.
yeah, he does have a
No,
basically
you're
a
fine.
And then
8-shot
here's,
gun. I think it
this
strength
is,
6.
Like an Avenger Gatling cannon. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, basically, which is not too bad. I always forget to shoot him though because I'm too busy charging.
Oh, I've got my Calidus.
I forget he has the gun.
It doesn't really matter
He has
that
a
much.
giant axe.
I haven't attacked her yet, but do your Beast and Nurgle.
So here's the Beast and Nurgle. 3 attacks.
But it looks like the what's he rolling on the left side?
Reroll.
So they're rolling
so
attacks for
1,
Beast
4
and Nurgle.
Don't care.
And then
Oh,
you
okay.
got your Calidus.
And then I've also put a poll up there, Twitch land. Let us know who you think's gonna win.
1 wound. No invulnerable save. -3. 2 damage. Yeah, -3. 2 damage. Takes 2 damage.
Yeah. 10.
So that's
Okay. All right. And this guy's the 13th. This guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Is it 14 or 13?
13.
So
13. Okay.
yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing unless those D go hand to night play.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a play. I mean that's possible. Like do we have any idea what kind of wounds are left on the knights right now?
Yeah, I can get that info real quick.
That'd be great.
So lock that one in combat.
And we can see some Gorilla
just
Glue
above
on the
him?
table. Trying to repair the dreadnought he accidentally
6,
knocked
7,
over.
He's good.
Very. It's easy for someone to say, "Oh yeah, it's no big deal. You knocked over my model." But obviously, someone seems like frustrated by that or hurt by it. Like, give them the attention. Don't blow it off like that. That represents a lot of time for someone, and could be very meaningful. So it's cool to see that kind of sportsmanship at the table.
So the Castellan has 19 wounds.
I dropped this on accident.
Okay.
It caught my
The
foot, and I'm
knight
like,
over
horrified.
here has 5 wounds. Looks like it's
and there's a spike
right
in
next to
this
the Beast of Nurgle, and the knight in combat
Okay.
has 13 wounds left.
Okay.
so the Castellan will probably have to carry the rest.
Put a spike over here somewhere.
And then all the models that are kind of to the left there, those are the Blight Lords, I'm guessing.
Those are the dead ones. They're all dead.
Yeah, the dead Blight Lords. Yeah, okay. I was just making sure. I'm like, I don't know where those came from. I presume.
Well, the one Bright Lord's still in combat, but he's more or less dead.
Oh, I forgot the score. Let's see. I killed, I hold,
And this is still turn.
I break that
3
one, I
now.
tie that one, so I hold.
It's turn 3. They're scoring now.
1, 2.
I'll
So
put their
hold
volumes
more,
up.
kill more.
I'm contesting. Or do you?
Oh no, yeah. So I hold this one and that one.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh no, I don't hold that. We tie.
So.
Oh no, I hold 1, you hold 0.
Yeah.
Never mind. The answer was correct. Did I kill Mark for Death? I haven't killed that.
Yeah.
And I haven't killed So I don't get Big Hammer or Mark for Death. You got no one else. All right. So I got 4 that round. I got 4 that round. You got 2 that
So
round. Okay.
by taking away that hold one for his opponent, Goat Boy has really secured himself kind of a commanding lead. That can be. I mean, basically, if his knights don't go away in a turn, his 2 gallants don't go away in the next turn, he's secured a pretty healthy win. And it's a matter of kind of just making sure he plays the points and make sure and keeps it cagey. He doesn't. I mean, he can just smash face and kill if he
put him
can, but
back
if
over
things
here.
start to go sideways, he still
Okay,
can't
he's
pull
fixed.
back. The problem with
Awesome.
Nurgle is that
I
they are
got
not
it.
fast.
You got the horn back up. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
and so he
I
can
found it in the ground. Like, all right,
reprioritize whatever is doing the damage. I think the Demon Princes are the biggest
All right.
threat right now.
Yeah.
though.
All right.
There you go.
Shriveling
But only
Fox,
one
this
has
guy.
wings, so they're not getting to the Castellan.
No.
It'll go off, so that'll stay right there. And this guy will cast Miasma on himself.
Because he can kill
It'll
the
go
one
off
with
with a
5
7.
wounds left. The other one's at
So
full
that one
strength,
can't
more
shoot.
or less.
That one can shoot. That
Yeah.
one can't shoot. And that one can
Yeah,
shoot.
these
Yeah.
can't shoot.
Yeah.
These can shoot.
Yes.
Well, and it's also just down to how much does this
Okay.
knight explode. That could take out. That could do a ton of
so
damage.
Shooting.
If the knight explodes, that probably is game.
Yeah, because it killed
Shoot this guy,
both the
and
characters
I will
possibly,
left
and
down, so
then
he's right there.
yeah, not
Hang
good.
on there.
I mean,
Yeah,
Feel No Pain will
so
save him, but
we'll-
I mean, especially with the Plague Burst Crawlers.
very
I don't know
sorry
if that's
about breaking
game,
it.
but still,
no
it's
worries,
going to
man.
be.
No, I just hate when
It can be significant
I had a
depending
guy
how
shot
he
my whole
rolls,
entire
but
Terran army in the air. I was like,
without,
The
without
thing
the
is
ability.
Oh,
Uh,
well,
Slugger.
well, I was gonna say Niel is playing on the back foot right now, but
I'm
Nurgle
moving
is
so
better
one
at playing
hits.
on the back
You
foot
get
than
your
almost
own
any
one
other
for the
army because you can
prince.
just have a hot turn
So,
where things don't die, and all of a sudden you have a play you didn't expect to have.
-2 wounds. Wound -1.
Good.
Okay, he likes it. And the flamethrower. 8.
Woohoo!
2, 4, 6, 8. Wounding on 3s. Reroll 1s and 2s. So 7. -1. So you know what? We got to redo this.
Why?
No one
All
has
of
any
these
CP left.
are
here.
2 damage.
Isn't that
Well,
only close
they didn't
combat
have that many
shooting?
to begin with. I don't
No,
think.
it was I think 8 and 6.
Yeah.
You want to? How do you want to? I guess we
No,
can.
you
roll.
got-
You
they
rolled
were
great.
done
So
by
let's.
turn 2.
You
that
did
way.
two, like so.
and
There's
no,
6
no-
turns.
and nobody
I'm gonna
has
take
any
double for
way
one.
to
I'm sure. I'm good with that.
regenerate
for sure.
any.
Yeah, I'm gonna take double for
I
one.
just.
You had a good roll. I had a good roll. That means I don't want to take them both away.
I just was like. This is the whole
still
reason I
alive.
put the 4 beasts of Nurgle that I can't actually put in the list was so
like
that he
only
could
one
have
got
that whole
through,
ability.
or
Because
maybe
otherwise
two.
I could just summon him.
Yeah, exactly,
Kinda
exactly.
like,
No,
that's
that's why I
out
was like,
That's the
Yeah.
whole
we'll,
reason.
we'll get this all right. We'll figure it out.
That's the problem when you have these units. Is like, what do I add a thing to? You know, when I was designing the list, I originally had a unit of 2,
Yeah.
but because of the having to put it in the app, I didn't even think about it, and I was just trying to get it done, and it was like,
No, I understand. I
that
understand
sucks.
completely.
All right, so we'll do him. I'm gonna fire. What's he at now? He's at 8. So
Yeah.
let's see if we can't do this with butcher cannon. 6, 8.
You're firing everything at him, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't have. He can't really shoot anything.
So for
Exactly.
anyone who's joined since
Everything
the
else is
beginning
in
of the
combat or
game,
character.
the Chaos
Yeah.
player had one too many Beasts of in their list for the rule of 3, so he's playing down Beast of Nurgle. That's kind of what they're talking about right now.
I don't know how much of a difference it would have made in this game.
I mean, it's a little bit more screen, but I don't know that it's enough to really.
Well, the way he deployed it wouldn't have really mattered because
Yeah.
that one caller up to screen. I think that was the big mistake. If you put that second one up,
He
It would've-
slow. He keeps the knights on their side of the table. For
Yeah.
I agree.
and maybe I've had it where Plague Burst Caller survive the chainsaw attacks from my chainsword attacks from my knights.
2 at -1.
So it's possible.
Well, and no matter what, you're gonna have that guaranteed explosion, for the one
Yeah.
that does die, and so you're gonna get to put a few
And I
wounds
think
on the knight.
that's
You're
close
gonna get
combat.
some value out of that
Shoot
Plague Burst
game.
Crawler as opposed to
Charging him would be stupid.
like
Um,
but in addition to everything else it does, it's stopping that knight's movement. You're gonna prevent
and I'm
that.
gonna.
Because I think something that people also don't always think about is they'll look at and they'll be like, oh well, I can't get out of charge
so-
range.
See if we can do a little better than we
but
did last time.
I can get a little bit further, and the problem is if it's a 4-inch charge versus
no,
like a
I did
7-inch
it
charge,
again.
it may not be
That
worth
sucks.
doing that
Reroll
because
that.
you're giving your opponent extra
Alright.
movement. So if you're moving
so
back
these are
further
strike
into your
9,
deployment and
yeah,
try and make it a
that's
harder
strike 8.
charge, but it's not statistically
Hard
hard
so here we go.
enough,
Hold on.
it can actually be a bad thing
That's-
where you're
that's
giving your
3
opponent
damage.
3 extra inches.
Oh,
of
that's
movement.
just 4 damage.
That's 4
Yeah.
damage.
Because this is an axe. So, and it's yeah. So it's -3.
Okay. 5 up. I
So
take.
that's 4 damage.
Okay. Next one.
This one is 3 damage, also -3.
Good.
Okay.
Did
and
they
then this is
resolve
a
combat
AP2
with the castle
minus and 2
Plague
damage.
Burst? Or the
Demon Prince?
Blight Lord?
6.
The Blight Lord.
No, 4. Yeah, 6.
4 and 2, 6.
Because I still
Um,
see the dice there, and I still see the Blight Lord.
When I remember the locus of fecundity, it's really, really good.
That is.
All right,
I
so
don't
I'm
know.
gonna go ahead and choose this guy to fight next.
Well, they're still doing. I think they're just doing combat right now. So
That's correct. They are doing combat.
Okay, cool.
wow, and the knight's still there. Okay, well,
And this is Neil's turn right now.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, wow, okay.
4
Yeah,
wounds.
exactly.
Okay.
Which combat are they resolving right now?
Here. So build
Seems
drama.
like the Blight Lord.
Oh, I would just pick them up.
Damn it.
Maybe
And then
I'm
the
wrong.
last one. Oh, okay. 2d3.
Evil Beard,
4,
Goat Boy does not. They all use
Give
it
me
for
those
their.
5 ups. Come on.
Damn, he's dead.
Exactly. I killed something, and I can mark for death.
That's
My
all
next
for- see,
one, I guess.
Yeah, he should
There
have
it
been
is.
behind the
Beast of
hill.
Nurgle is totally gonna kill this
Yep.
guy. Because that's the only thing we have in
I
combat
don't know.
left. So here we go.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's
or maybe even the other corner, the corner on the opposite end.
That would have been fine too, because those assassons aren't
Oh.
getting
And
a line
then-
of sight.
yeah. Just shoot
He's
the
got
assassin on top of the
random
roof
extra
and then
wound,
walk
too. That's
towards the other
weirdest
one.
assassin.
Here we go. All of it. Okay.
Because he didn't even have to redirect his gallons to deal with that.
3.
Right. Well, from the Overwatch and from the stomps, playing the crash.
Castellan just handled them.
But he's trying to hug him. He's a beast of Nurgle. He's like, hey, buddy.
What's great? What are you doing? We're friends.
Yeah, I think
Right.
that
Now he's
the
gonna have to
beginning
come back at
move
you
and then the recovery move, the Blight Lord Terminator is probably the
Blowfly.
missteps.
And I think that it's not that there's an easy identify
Nice one.
always going to be better in this case. I think there were other options that could have encouraged maybe a more conservative play style, which I think if you're on the back foot with Nurgle, trying to draw it out and get maximum durability is probably playing to your strengths.
All right, and then the guy over there.
Right, which is why I thought maybe the
What guy? There's no more guys.
going after the assassin, especially the one on the
That's
roof,
correct
because he's
answer.
not
I know what
hiding.
you're talking about, sir.
I
Yeah.
see him.
And yeah, you'd be able to
He's
drop
sitting
over there,
at
shoot him, and then
he's
charge the
7.
other
He's
one.
sitting on 3s.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That
That
probably
doesn't
would have
matter.
been that could have
So
secured
there's
him
two-
2 points into kill. And it makes Goat Boy's ability to get hold more
Look at that, trying to
much
cheat.
more like a
I'm trying
bit
to
more
get past
difficult
you.
because you're taking away one of his backfield.
7.
Well, especially if you're able to stay inside that building.
Yeah. Which I don't think you can because the actual within the range of
Oh, that
the
was not very good.
objective is like an
It's
inch in
-2,
on that
so-
mat. There's a little
Oh,
circle.
okay.
Well,
It's
here,
not
let's see if I just
perfectly the
three
map.
straight up
Which is
dies.
why the assassin's out there, not on the other
Yep.
side.
Yep.
Roll.
So what about
So
having his White
killed
Lord
5 of them,
Terminators
5 of
actually
the
come
6.
back
Roll
in
your-
his
roll,
backfield
6
and
damage.
help destroy
there's
some of
one
these
more.
knights instead of focusing on the Castellan?
I exploded. Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, the problem is that you're
9,
then throwing them at
minus
another knight that
11,
they'll handle them.
11.
You know, they did 8 wounds to the Castellan. They're not going to really do any better against the Gallant, and the Gallant's going to do even better against them.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I don't know that that actually helps. Now, if you wanted him in the back corner, no, because they don't have anything to do against knights. They need to be the durable objective holding
Yes.
setup. If you went for the objective 1, he's not going to get to shoot the Castellan for at least a turn there. Then you're hopefully gonna kill a character and maybe 2. The Castellan is going to take at least 3 turns to get over there, or it's going to take at least 2 turns for the Gallants to get over there to deal with it. So that's at least 2 turns where you've gotten a couple kills, you're getting an extra objective point, and you're forcing your opponent to have to make decisions around the choices you're making as opposed to vice versa. So I mean, that seemed like a better move.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm
It's-
usually super aggressive, so I probably either would have made that same mistake of putting him in the middle right there and go after the Castellan,
Yeah.
or the hill. Like the hill is the first thing that popped up to me, but then now that I really think about it, the assassin side would probably have been the best side.
Well, and the thing is that like it's a hard matchup no matter what because the Gallants just don't care about a lot of the shooting.
Yeah.
They just don't care that much.
I'll allow it. Yeah, it's like they're mad. Okay.
Well, it's like that's another temple. You
Yeah,
know, that guy's
Also,
that guy's
picking
like, oh, you
depending
know
on what your secondaries are,
kill
that will
Steve, so
dictate
that's
what you do.
unacceptable.
Also,
Okay.
since he took
Sure.
All
Titan
right,
Slayer.
I'm gonna shoot.
He actually probably got like he has at least 3. Probably got all 4 points for Titan Slayer.
Yeah, I imagine he has.
That is not a fight. He's gonna shoot your herald. Okay. I hit.
Are the assassins still alive?
Yes.
I wound.
Yes,
I get
both of them are.
no normal
What
save.
all
What's your
4 have
damage?
I mean,
Two?
both of the ones that are actually in danger. The 2.
Down south.
One goes
Are they in
through.
danger really? Are they in danger?
Shot.
Well, the Calidus has to make a charge with Overwatch.
Oh, true.
Unless it's planning on heroically
From, the knight to the
intervening.
guy right there.
No, you can't do it during your
no,
own
no,
turn.
no, that's what I'm like. I don't think it's the right
Whoa.
turn for that.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Yes, you can heroically intervene in your own turn.
No, you
No,
can't.
you can't.
It's called a charge.
Yeah, charging is heroic intervention only works in the opponent's charge phase.
Because it's after your opponent has moved all their
Oh,
charge.
that's fair. Okay, good call. I'm glad we had this talk.
Good
I'm
thing
glad
you
we
don't
did
judge.
too.
Good thing you don't judge any major events.
Yeah,
I just kind of help out. I'm like the 3rd, 4th, 5th wheel. I'm like the redheaded stepchild that just is there.
you're the redheaded stuff wheel.
Hey, if anything happens, I just call John over. And then he waves his cards around, and then everything magically happens.
It's
good.
fine.
We'll feel like
Yeah,
they've
it
talked
works.
to an authority, and it's good.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, come help.
The shoulder guns. What else did you say?
Volcano Lance is gonna go there.
What is he shooting at? The other
Plasma gun
Playboy
is gonna
Scholar?
go-
Or the other Daredale? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to do it that way.
Overcharge, not
See, I'm
overcharge.
not a big
Yeah,
fan
we're
of
gonna have to
splitting
overcharge.
the fire
You will?
like
I
that,
reroll
unless
one,
they're,
so
like,
it's like,
really
I
damaged.
take 1 wound, so I'm like.
It
it's
looks
not
like
that
both
well.
of them have taken
All right,
damage.
let's do the two
Okay.
two guns over at that guy
I'm
over
seeing
there.
dice next to both of them.
Hey, so Evil Beard, what happens if a Custody player charges on your turn with a stratagem? That's totally
Oh,
legit.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's an entirely different thing. That's a specific strategy that's meant. That's its own thing.
3 wounds.
Roll another ball of wax.
First one
Heroic
is
intervention is just a specific
4
roll.
damage.
Anyone with
Second one is
the
4
triggers
damage.
in the opponent's fight.
Did
Or
they
charge phase.
explode?
Nope.
Hey, viewers
Yeah,
out there,
put him away from me.
including my mom.
Far away. Just oh my God. I know.
Um,
But I made him. I put him back together. It's okay.
He's crooked.
Do you have any
now.
questions for two of the All-Star LVO judges? Just let us know. Put them in the chat.
I was like, I'm glad the
Ask
barrel
your
didn't
most
break.
weirdest
That's the one that
questions.
I'm
They
gonna
speak
take a
on behalf of GW.
No, they do not.
shot plasma and then
God damn.
we rolled one. Hit.
So can you intervene?
Talk on it.
Can you
Yeah.
intervene on that
Which one?
charge?
That's what he's asking.
-4.
5 up.
No, you can't because it says in your opponent's charge phase after your opponent's completed all their
Let's
charges.
see what it says.
Yeah, let's get the actual rulebook up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
It just says after the enemy has completed all of their charge moves, any of your characters that are within 3 of an enemy unit may perform heroic intervention.
There you go.
No, he's doing pretty good.
He is perfectly fine. He's
Doing pretty good.
So it doesn't say phase, it just but it's in the it's in the charge phase.
We'd have to look at FAQs to get a.
I don't think there is one.
Well,
Not for that.
That's
See
nice.
some charging.
You said
Because
beast- you want
GW doesn't
beast
think
in
that
our
far.
Yeah,
It's not in the that. I find most of the answers
If you can't tell, I'm gonna try to
Don't,
engage him. Here we go.
tend to pay attention
He's gonna
to
charge
in the
the
designer's commentary.
Corpsebringer. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, but you have to remember
We are
how
going to
far along
Eversor
was
into him.
The adversary
Sword
here.
Faces Custodes. It's like a year later.
So, Ninja Cannon.
That's fair.
Good thing this hasn't come up at LVO.
Wound.
Well, I mean, we have to see more.
4, 6.
They're, I mean, they're popular, but they're not quite that popular.
33.
They're popular in my area.
I mean,
strength 6, strength 5. He's still tough 4, right?
so the question is when the Custode
son of a gun.
charges uses the stratagem, is that
Right.
considered
I was like,
an enemy charge? I would say yes.
Find something better.
Here we go. No, I got it. I dropped the die. And
Thoughts?
I was like, well, this one's closer.
I am pulling up the Custodian
But I
Codex
worked hard for
next.
those 2 wounds. All right.
That's what I'm
And
working
3s. 1 wound.
Evil Beard,
He
you've thrown
likes
us
it.
for a loop.
on. No, it's a very
Is he within
specific
8
question, and
inches?
with these
He is
with
not.
these
He's
like
at, like,
super
9
like
inches.
multi-layered
Yeah.
rules interactions, you just got to
I'm
go.
gonna move a little closer. We'll do the.
And often there will be one sentence or one word that kind of everyone had missed, and it kind of clarify. It often clarifies the interaction.
That one somehow survives, right?
3d3.
No, actually, the truth is that Evil Beard does not like Custodes. He says, quote,
Oh, is that why?
just being,
All I'm doing is
just
every time you see
because
those
being
guys, you're making me wanna
Custodes
have mine
is
done.
rude to start with.
I want them.
They're pretty good.
I mean, to be honest, they should just have mops and buckets on their jet bikes
The
Yeah. because they're cleaning the way
the
on their
ziggurat
way to
placement
battle.
It's
Yeah.
it's because I've played a game against basically your list and did very well because
Talking about
I
swooping
can park
death.
1 tank in it.
Yeah.
So it's
2 wounds.
yeah, it's 2 wounds.
1, and she gets there.
She is
Stooping
she
down.
base 5, so he's base 6. Okay.
Yeah, he's randomly.
I wasn't sure if he was.
And there's nothing in the FAQ about
So, you-
swooping
By the
death.
way, you shot with him after
Yeah,
I
I-
left combat with her. Or you should have been able to shoot, or did he not?
No,
shoot?
I didn't
He
shoot
didn't
with
shoot
this
the other one. Did the one I
shot
killed?
I shot with the crummy shots.
The one I killed. Yes.
You failed 1 save, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So she's got 4 remaining. Okay, here we go. We'll just
All right, so I'm gonna do all my attacks.
3, 4. There we go.
I'm gonna do hers real quick.
As it is written,
Need that again.
Really?
if they make the charge,
I saw another 5. No. I thought you got me with 4
I was like, what the?
I was like, oh my god.
What's going on?
These Iron Halo dice.
hold on, double
You guys
checking.
need to sell these.
Uh,
'Cause these yeah.
They go
It
up and
looks
down,
like
they're like,
Calidus
they're
is
up,
making her
which is
attacks.
fine. They're like
Makes
normal
checks.
dice. One made.
What was I saving?
I'm a-
AP minus 3.
I'm gonna see if it's 3. It might be 3. It might be 4. But I think
If
it's
it's
3.
If it's 3, I didn't make any. So it's and you ignore invulns. So
I'm
that's why
not
I'm
seeing
rolling.
any reason you couldn't
6
heroically
damage.
intervene in them, because they are an enemy and they did complete their charge move if they make the charge. But because it's after the enemy has completed all of their charge.
Yeah,
Well,
it doesn't say in the charge phase or in their
Yep.
charge.
It's
yeah,
just
but
that's the
even
only
if they
time that
fail
normally
a
occurs.
charge, they're
Yeah.
still completing the charge process, correct?
They're completing their charge. Yeah.
So I would raw without looking at any other supporting literature say, yeah, you can heroically intervene. But I would want to dig in and see if there's been anything else on heroic intervention anywhere.
And I messed up that last time.
You know, Evil Beard, you're welcome. You've heard it here
And your
from
jump is
official
5, so
LVO judges.
3.
Oh my God. Official, unofficial.
8.
The official, unofficial judges.
Exactly.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
I wonder. I wonder what the stream would be like with John here. To be honest.
Don't feed that, please.
I would say the same, but just 70% more sarcastic.
That sounds accurate. I think he would message me like memes to put on the stream.
Probably. Well, yeah.
He would like create one like right there and then message it to me, and then I put it up.
That is not a very good reroll.
That's all you need. It's a beast in Nurgle.
Toughness 5.
So
5
the
wounds?
twos.
2 does not. 5 wounds? Yeah. Just 5.
Yeah, it's more than enough.
Should be.
2 fail.
6. Woo. Doing stuff like that is dumb.
And doesn't matter, he still got him. Dang it. Jeez.
These
Hey, what's
Nurgle's
up?
dumb.
I touch.
Yeah.
No.
And that's it. Now he gets the attack back, and they all get an attack
So
back.
now he's touching the
Uh,
Big Burst Caller.
Yep.
2 hits.
And he has
Demon
effectively shut down the majority of his shooting now.
I have it on my
Leave.
phone.
Yeah.
I pulled it up.
Well, he only has 3 units
and then
left.
here's the other one.
His
True.
weapon skill is 4 up.
Looks
Yeah,
like.
that's what I was thinking. It was 4.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
this one. Oh, she's
Oh.
down to 3. At this
Whatever
rate, if
happened
this
to the
game
other
goes
demon?
7
Those
turns,
demon
I
prince
might
with
kill her.
I have faith.
I guess he killed them too.
All right. And then those tanks.
This one is undamaged.
1 hit.
Nothing.
Let's see. Why don't you do
Strength
the probability
7,
now?
'cause that one doesn't have healing pots. This one.
Get the points after Thomas's turn and see what
This one I'm going on
probabilities
4s. No.
Yeah, I'll do
are.
that.
Neil.
All right. So I kill more, hold more, and I don't get the bonus. I don't hold all of them,
I don't know. Yep.
so I can't hold those 2. All right. So that'll give me another 4. And then did you kill something?
I don't know, man.
No. I don't think you killed anything yet. And you held 1.
Yeah, he didn't even kill anything.
So I wasn't in range to contest.
Neil.
When I charged you, I wasn't in range to contest.
So for
Right?
Neil, what second
Yeah,
phase
I
would
had
you
that
have?
one.
You
Okay,
at
sorry,
least
my
hold
turn.
1.
Yep,
You at least
yep.
hold 1.
Well,
I mean, he picked Kingslayer, Headhunter, Titan Slayer.
yeah, I feel like maybe engineers with a Beast of Nurgle hiding in a building on Jack, or no, they have to be 2-man units, don't
You
they?
glue?
Um,
I've got.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Second. I have it right here.
I've lost so
They
many
have to
spikes on this.
be
That's what breaks every time.
yeah, 2 non-character units.
Oh, okay.
So it could be one.
I would have considered engineers because there's several places you could put those Beasts of Nurgle to hide.
And he's not going to shoot at the Beast of Nurgle right away.
Yeah, exactly. He has to shoot at other stuff, so that's probably a better choice.
Yeah, 'cause the problem is
I don't think there's anything wrong with Titan Slayer. You got to do wounds on knights, and it allows you to not be picky on which one, and you're able to score those points and still get the if you were doing a Kingslayer or something because it's per 8 wounds, you're able to score those points and still get kills and stuff. So
And
there-
then is good when you're
Uh-huh.
new with it.
there's options there.
Yeah, I think Headhunter might have just been a trap since 2 of his units are like way in the back over there.
Yeah, the characters seem easy to get, but in reality, there's always front.
Yeah. Evilbler asks whether consolidation happens at the end of the fight phase for that unit.
Yeah. So
Not-
when you go ahead. Sorry.
No, so when a unit is selected to fight,
Yeah.
they pile in, fight, and then consolidate. Then you move on to the next unit.
Yeah, you go through the entire fight phase for that unit.
And then and then he's also asking, can a unit that didn't activate consolidate? Only if they're within 1 inch, because then you activate, basically.
Yeah. Or if they made a charge. Like, you could make a charge with multiple units in a turn. That first unit kills all those guys. That second, they're still going to get to activate and get that movement.
So if the unit it would fight was slain before it got to activate, only if it charged, like Mitch just said.
And Adam, you asked about the probability. Here
yes,
it is.
because now it's 16 to 8.
16 to 8, 8-point advantage. It's 76% in Thomas's favor.
Okay.
That sound about right?
That's lower than what I thought it would.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, I mean, this is just based on point differentials. It's not based on board status.
Yeah, of course.
Because that would take a lot of time to figure out.
For sure.
I'm only half Asian and don't have those good skills.
But you're full American. That's why this is half-assed.
Full American. Full American.
So it looks like Niel moved away just to kind of make it harder for Thomas. What?
2. Two is enough. You'll kill me. I'm not. I have to basically shoot you with a.
Just nothing can shoot
right
now.
I have to kill that.
The only time he gets to shoot at him is when he gets charged.
That one I have to shoot more than everything else, and probably not going to kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I just had to
back up a little bit.
And this is the bottom of 4?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm near a ziggurat and I get some cover, son.
Oh, I'm sure I have other things to shoot at before I get.
So this is why it's
If I
important
get
to
to the
pay
point where I'm shooting at him,
Evilbeard. That's why it's
this
important to
game
pay
has
attention to
definitely
all
swung
units
around,
within
and
12
that's-
inches.
So you didn't kill
that
any.
maybe can't shoot Overwatch
any
or have
whole one.
non-threatening Overwatch, and
That's
declaring
not-
all of them as options, so that you could theoretically, if you charge into one unit with 2 units, and that the unit you've already charged into is wiped, you can use that consolidation to get into another unit that you could actually swing on because they're still a valid target.
Nothing. Second one at the Didiro. Hits. Nothing.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
see me anyways. So, it's all good.
Calidus is shooting at your Didiro. What's the leadership? Like 9? Oh, I have. You know what, I keep talking to you and I have.
Are we on the shooting phase?
That's correct.
I have it written down.
Leadership 8.
Leadership 8.
3-6. I don't beat it.
Okay.
The Eversor pistoling you. Nothing.
Those
Leadership on a
following
vehicle.
John
How
Lennon.
I know. It's
One
like
second
I don't
game?
like. What am I shooting? Like some kind of flavor
believe.
thing?
Yes.
All right.
Well, because remember the thing was.
Good for John.
It used to be strength 8, but
Yeah,
you used your,
and then there's only one other game,
leadership as the toughness.
or a couple other games.
That's how that one always worked.
Melta Lance.
About 1 hour remaining in the
Volcano
game.
cannon
So.
there. Plasma cannon there.
We do?
Melta guns there.
Seems like forever.
I don't know what to do with
Oh, I
it
said that out loud. Sorry.
because they're not gonna do shit to that guy.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm gonna try to kill the Didiro.
Okay.
I know how you feel, Adam.
So
So what's
You don't know me.
shooting here except for what's shooting here?
Melta guns.
Melta guns. Okay.
Melta guns.
Things are still
Three
live,
hits.
so I don't know what he shot at. Or did you shoot at the Daredeo on the bottom that I can't see?
Looks like
God,
he's shooting at the
Suck.
Plague Burst.
Plague Burst right now.
The
Oh,
storm
which one?
Siegebreaker cannons.
Probably the one that's on the hill.
You get to pile in. You get to go through every single fight. Weird. If you've made your charge, you get to
Yeah, your
pile
teams.
in. You get to do everything. Consolidate
even-
all of it.
Even if you didn't, if there's nobody to attack, so you basically get a free 6-inch move.
I'll fill 2 of them.
You take
You just can't swing on anyone that wasn't declared
8.
for
Yeah.
your charge.
8.
And you still have to move to the closest
Three.
enemy.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is all.
I think that kills them. I think.
But
I think
if you want to get on an
blows up.
objective or get to someone else's like board edge or whatever, it helps with that. So.
Oh, all the other guns are wasted.
People skip
I didn't
that
expect the storm
out of
thing to do
convenience
anything.
usually, or they just And a lot of people have editionitis where they remember the previous
Well, yeah, I
editions
was like, I'm gonna
where it
kill
was
it.
at the end of the
That's all
phase
I'm
where
gonna
do.
everybody consolidates, but
It took me forever to break that habit.
it's not like that anymore. And there's a lot of little tricks you can do when you do the consolidation that we kind of talked about throughout this game with the knights especially.
Yeah, or with infantry and wrapping people up. There's lots of different tricks.
Hard to do that with knights, but
Combat is the gentleman's like part of the game, like in the sense of like you need to know so many little interactions.
yeah,
It's the most complex part of the game.
actually it is. And they talk about
They're magnetized.
Well, that one is. This one actually.
they talk about.
No!
Did he break another piece?
Yeah. Oh man, it was one of the flamers off of the Plague Burst crawler.
Oh,
It
it's
caught on
chaos.
his finger.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poor
Thomas is
Go
not
Boy.
having
He's
a very
having a
good game.
clumsy day.
He's not even drunk.
What's his excuse?
Reidy will be able. You can't skip a unit. You can't say, "Oh, I don't want to attack with." You have to pick a unit.
You can have them fight with their base strength as opposed to the weapons they have.
Yeah, but they still have to.
Yep.
But I was saying earlier that the people say so. People have commented that movement isn't, which it is, but the movement during the fight phase is also not just.
Well, and that's the thing is the movement during the fight phase doesn't obey the same rule.
Right.
The movement phase, and so you're able to do things you just can't do in any other part of the game.
So 4 go through.
Like
Or
heroic
like eight.
intervene when you're charged.
Yep.
In your opponent's turn.
3
It saves.
plus,
7, 8.
8.
See,
God,
I'm
until my
getting
brain's not
made.
working.
Looks like half.
That's from the flamer.
No, this looks like it's from the night swinging in.
Oh, from the night swinging. So flamer didn't really.
Nah.
Okay.
So I killed 1. I hold 1. I kill more and hold more.
Props to Neil
And,
for
yeah,
being a great
I'm
sport
missing.
about
Do I get
having
a bonus?
models get dropped and stuff.
Probably.
It happens, and you know, like
5 or
everyone's
more.
kept it
Just 5
cordial
or more
and fun.
objectives. Yeah,
Great.
I get the bonus.
Alright.
And I got another big game hunter. That's what I got.
Come over here, try and finish this guy off, I guess.
You don't even have to move. You can see me.
Yeah, because even if I pop him off this, I'm not gonna. Well, I guess I would hold 1 at that point if I kill
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
So I think we're down to 2 models.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've got some Kingslayer because he's taking
Trying
some
to
damage.
figure out
So I get some
charge
Kingslayer points. 'Cause
distance,
I
it
don't.
looked
I mean, do you, how many do you have
No,
in
I
there
think
for
he
me?
wants to move.
so if you kill, so Kingslayer, you have.
I would
none
just
of-
stay there and shoot at the knife. So,
That's the Kingslayer. I haven't put it yet.
Yeah.
I have 7 wounds.
Well,
left,
this is
so
Go
6
Boy's
wounds.
turn, right?
no, this is Neil's
Oh.
turn. Go boy just went.
That's like 6
Oh,
wounds.
okay.
So we're on turn 5.
Yeah, he did 8
Gotcha.
right here. Yeah, he did 18.
Yeah, I
So
think
18
Go Boy just scored like
damage is
5
Kingslayer's
additional
every
points.
6 or every 4. I don't know.
Oh, I think he wants to move to deny. No, because he still holds more. It's not gonna matter.
It's every 4 wounds.
You got Kingslayer.
Yeah, I don't know why he moved.
There you go.
I
Maybe
would've
he
just
doesn't.
stayed.
Maybe he's forgetting about the
But
assassin.
I didn't break yours.
Probably. That's why they're sneaky. They're easy to hide.
That was a pretty good plow. That's a plow. That's not gonna break.
But it doesn't matter because the
I'm so
Castellan
bad. I know,
owns
I'm
the
so
other
bad.
objective,
All right, here we go. Slugger
and he
Well,
doesn't
that's
own any.
Actually, is there?
Yeah.
No, there's not a way for
Yeah,
me to get in this and shoot
it's an
him,
irrelevant thing. I'm not sure what he's trying to.
to.
Maybe he's just trying to.
Plague
He's a
mortar
flamer.
guy. Plague mortar.
Yeah, and he wants to get close
3 shots.
for some reason.
5s. 1.
Well, he can use the
4 up.
flamers. The
-2.
mortar
Right,
hits
any-
on
any
5s
kind of coverage, I'm
anyway,
near the
or when
ziggurat
it
and my
moves, so it's
guy,
not too
But
bad.
you're not touching this.
But-
Well, and it's probably
Within an inch.
degraded.
That's their FAQ.
Yeah, so the
Oh, I thought
flamer
they
doesn't
said-
care.
Oh, I thought they said
No,
you
but that's what I'm talking about. The mortar
It's for
doesn't-
vehicles, so you
pretty
don't
much
have to be on it.
irrelevant.
I'm not gonna worry about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I
Didn't
rolled
matter.
a 6. It doesn't matter.
Didn't matter. Slugger. 1. Nothing. Flamethrowers. 7.
No one's picking up dice too fast.
6, 7.
Nice, just put a clean game
Unfortunately, no
before you
shriveling pox, so this is on 5s.
No one's, you know what I appreciate? No one is rolling
3 of them.
for hits and picking up their
2 wins on that.
their hits,
Successes?
and then
Yeah.
also,
Oh, yeah, he is 2.
and then the
I thought he had
and then
one.
the next roll
I
they're
thought he had
gonna
one too. That's why I
pick
haven't
up their
moved it.
misses.
Yeah, no, he's.
They're not switching it out on you.
Anyway.
Oh, I hate
You
that.
can
Yeah,
charge
it's
me
it's
too.
one or the other.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
never- I don't know.
It's like you
Exactly.
count up or you count down on wounds. You're like it's the same thing. It's don't
This
you
close
don't get to
combat?
swap.
Oh, I I should have moved away. Yeah.
I'm not gonna name any names, but that happened at LVO.
You wouldn't.
Oh,
You
I'm
would.
sure.
I was like, you're not being. Oh no, hold on.
But Mitch wasn't playing. It was
Because I have a character, so I can.
Oh, and it wasn't
that's
Mitch.
fair. Let's be
No.
correct.
pretty sure it was.
All
That's
right.
why he
Yeah,
dropped
no.
first after the first day.
Yep, that's me.
That's why he DQ'd himself.
I did. I gave myself yellow cards, mainly because they're just very pretty.
So you.
I just find them very visually stimulating. But
You know, I got to hand out a yellow card at this tournament, so I'm a pretty happy camper.
it was funny. I heard so many people talking about worried about it being weaponized. I'm like, I handed out one yellow card in all of LVO, and it was in the Sunday RTT.
Yeah, I handled it, but they were disturbed. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
And plus, we have to document them, so it's not like we just.
I get one.
It was just funny. I'm like, I didn't even hand one out. Most of the time, most players, one comment will most people will listen. They're not trying to be jerks.
A couple of them we gave out when people said, "Go ahead and give me a yellow." But
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. The next time someone says, "Give me a yellow or red,"
Oh, yellow or
it's
red?
So
You're gonna let me
insulting.
choose?
Yeah. It's
Oh
so
my gosh.
insulting.
That was so funny, right? Right, Mitch?
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing is that Jason was there. We both looked at we looked at each other. We're like, okay, man, we're just trying to answer your question.
Yeah.
You're coming at this a lot harder than us.
Yeah. That was my more or less response. Anyway, I didn't say that, but I thought in my mind, oh, well, I wasn't gonna give you one anyway. But if you really want, yes, I'll.
I liked it that John came by with flipping his cards in his hand. I think that was my favorite part. And there goes
Implied.
a
Big Burst Crawler.
Yep.
5 shots.
Down
Oh.
to one. And this is turn 6 anyway, so the table lane doesn't really matter.
Right.
But
Well,
in terms of the points scored, like the rest of the game.
So
First one.
Absolutely not. But I would like to point out that playing at not a class pace. There was no
No.
there was plenty of discussion.
Yeah.
Like these people were playing at a reasonable pace and got everything done. Lots of dice rolls, lots of rules questions. Well, not lots, but some rules questions. Models were dropped and repaired. It's nice to just see people playing at a good clip and getting through a game with an hour to spare. There it is.
Jason, real quick, before you talk to them,
Yeah.
I want you to ask Neil why he didn't move the second Blake Burst Crawler up forward,
Okay.
and why he chose the center of the board as opposed to either edge of the board, whether it was behind the hill or behind the building, and for the Light Lord Terminators.
Yep, I can do that. Let me. I'm gonna make one adjustment right here to this screen. So just give me a second.
All right.
I want to do something cool. Headhunter, you missed because you didn't kill any characters. So 2 knights of characters, the 4 characters. Yeah. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like they're counting up the scores real quick.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 plus 12 is 38. And you got 8.
So interestingly, I was thinking
1, 2,
back
3, 4, 5.
here. I played against a similar Nurgle list. That was 2 of the Leviathan dreads,
Okay.
the Butcher Cannons, 3 Plague Burst Crawlers, a few Demon Princes, and then Blight Drones, I believe was what he was using as opposed to Beast of Nurgle or anything like that. And I was playing the very popular Castellan list at the time. And the problem is the same thing we saw here is when you come up against things that can kill the big durable things you're using as your screen, you just don't have the volume of wounds. The Plague Drones are better at that, partially just because they have fly and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where people complain about seeing 40 Plague Bearers or 60 Plague Bearers. This army kind of needs that. It's a grindy army, which is obviously very fluffy. They're just gonna run you into the ground. They're not here to make a flashy victory.
Yeah.
And so what I think we saw with this list is a lack of ability to sustain.
That was the thing for me was put the knights back there.
You want to have individual wound models.
Put the knights down back there because
The individual damage, and he didn't have enough the individual models with 1 wound to try and soak some of those bigger hits.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was like,
Yeah.
you just
And
didn't
no
do
CP
much.
did not help.
First round, I was like, I
Yeah.
just killed 5 guys. You're like,
Yeah, I don't know if it was
And
worth
I didn't get with flails.
bringing the Daredeos, in this game anyway. I don't know about
Oh, yeah.
the rest of the tournament. I mean,
Yep.
like if he comes up against a Horde army, I can't imagine what. I mean, the Plague Burst Prowlers are decent shots on the mortars, but I don't think that's enough. Well, I mean, the Butcher Cannon arrays, I guess.
Butcher Cannon arrays, you're relying on the Flamer. I assume Beast of Nurgle are not too bad in combat when they're going up against infantry and squishier stuff.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's an interesting list. It looks like they're talking about the game right now.
Yeah.
Let me go interview these guys real quick and let them get out of here, and we can discuss some more. So let me, let me go do that.
I
now.
have to block the middle you from coming in, and I just couldn't. I could not get
enough in there.
The blocking stuff.
I like this little white armor.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
It's such a graphical look.
Yeah. It's
do you mind if we interview you guys real quick? Come on over here.
Sure.
All right, I'll stand right here. Goat Boy on this side.
Oh man.
Yeah. You're terrible. Congratulations, man. That was a good win. So, real quick, Adam from TFG Radio had a quick question for you. Why didn't you move the other Plague Burst Crawler here in the middle to kind of block out the other knights?
Realistically, as I've played against the melee knights before, I normally have enough firepower to do them. But it was a little bit. I don't even think it was. The math didn't add up. I should have killed. Like, this guy took way too much firepower to kill, and then even this guy, once he was up here, he probably should have died turn 3 or 4.
He lived like 2 turns longer than he should have.
And so, having one knight come in didn't hurt, and then the prince here, 2 rounds of combat. I got 2 swings on him before he got to come back, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. I hit 4 out of 4.
Wow.
So, and I was wounding, and I'm wounding his knight on 3s. So it was because my prince was strength 9 with the Poxbringer there. So it was a gamble, and it didn't work. And that's unfortunately that's dice games. It's like because the problem is that he doesn't give up many points, because to kill 1 unit is so difficult that I had to try to play to have stuff in the late game. And because if I move both of them up, they're automatically dead, pretty much.
That was the thing. If he moved them up, they're both super dead.
They're both dead. Whereas
either I shoot, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna melt the crap out of that one and shoot him.
Because I gave him. Because here's the thing: when he moved up, he got 1 through. Because and even then, he couldn't charge here, so he charged the thing. It was just. I mean, it was. Like I said, it was just some gambles. They didn't pay off. Doughboy didn't make any mistakes in this game.
I think the dice are much more towards my favor.
And it's like we were talking about dropping the Terminators back there is because I was trying to play for late game because ideally, I've charged them into knights before and do like 16, 18, 20 damage in 1 round, and that just didn't happen this time. Because if I can bracket him, he's a lot less scary. Because once he's bracketed, he's hitting me on 5s in melee instead of 4s with rerolls. So it was just some gambles. They didn't pay off. Maybe next round, some of the gambles will pay off. But it's just with his type of list, I don't think I could play super conservatively. I had to take some chances to have a chance.
The Castellan will amp up in the upper range where you're like, uh-oh, like that last one where I randomly did that Castellan did way too much damage. I'm like, that's what it'll do. It'll hey, I shot that tank, and the tank is dead, and even if it's Nurgle, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem you're gambling. It looks like Castellan. It's like it has such an up and down range, and that one is, the Crass one is randomly annoying for I do extra damage. So those Storm Siege cannons are really, really rough, doing 4 damage sometimes a piece.
Yep.
Like, ugh.
And against other knights, it's that thing. It's good. I'm glad I didn't have a knight against you.
I would just.
D3 plus 2 damage.
They're like, oh, you're so dead, sir. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna iron shield. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So I think overall, I feel bad. Like, I think my dice went much more towards my direction. I don't. The only thing I ever say was we talked about the Terminators. I didn't know where else they could go.
Yeah.
Like the most of the things they could come in here and try to deal with it. Like I thought maybe even better to go after the weaker knights with them and be like, let's see if we can kill 2 knights.
And the thing is, I honestly think that would have been playing for a tie, and it's like I want to go for a win because again, I got the charge. If I had, if he hadn't done quite as much damage in the first round of combat, I could have maybe gotten a couple of knights because I only got one Terminator in the zone. If I could have gotten a second Terminator in the zone, so but I had fun. You know,
I broke a model. I feel so bad. And
Yeah,
now,
that
but he
was-
broke his other model, and then he didn't break my model when he hit it. So I feel real bad. So I've got glue for him. Please fix it.
These come off. They're just a little peg.
Oh, I know.
And once you put glue in there once, they don't fully seat. So it's a little.
And I don't ever change them. Like I'm always the same gun. So I'm like, that's why I don't magnetize it. Because
It's.
Like I just never change it.
I play both competitively and also play friendly games.
Exactly.
So it's like I don't mind swapping them out for something else, you know, because it's like, oh.
Nurgle loves you pretty much.
Let me, so to close up the show, Adam, Mitch, you guys have any questions for these guys you want me to relay?
Are they talking to you?
Mitch, do you have anything else?
I don't.
Why can't they talk to me? I don't
know
hear
of
anything.
anything else.
They don't like you.
I know.
Yeah, I can't.
I gotta
do
give Jason
anything
crap as
for
much as I can.
the boy in terms of how he played, because it kind of went the way Mitch and I kind of would have played it.
This is my last hurrah for good guys. It's all back in
And then you already asked about the Terminators and the second Pegler's Crawler, which we already, was really the big question, because after that he's just trying to recover. But that's about it. That's about it for us.
What do you ask?
He actually said that you guys already covered it in your debriefing. So.
Yeah. No, it was a good game. It was good. It was very challenging.
I play a lot of Nurgle, so I know. And
yeah.
And that thing, it's just up and down. So.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up. Hey Neil, thanks for being on the stream. Thomas, always a pleasure.
Always try.
You guys, we will be back.
I'm taking this off because it feels weird.
I know it feels. It's like weird. It's
on the back.
Here in a little bit. Probably. What time is it now? 3:48. So I think round 3 starts at 4:45. So we'll see you guys here in about 45 minutes. Mitch and Adam, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Cool. All right, we'll catch you guys again. And as always, guys, dice safely.